All right. Okay, Healy, you're the one that needs the most help on this, right? And you tell me you need help in quadratics.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you remember the form of a quadratic?
Mm-hmm.
Some of us.
Um, A squared.
No, not a squared. It's a what squared? Ah, it's ax squared. Ax squared plus,
BX plus C.
right, and that's equal to 0. So that's a quadratic. Now imagine if you had the quadratic x squared minus 2x plus 3. You need to be able to tell me what a is, b is, and c is if you have to use the quadratic equation. So tell me what is a, what is b, and what is c. To
A
figure that
is
out. Oh, wait, tell me. Let me see if you know.
A is 1,
Right?
B is minus 2, and C is 3.
Anybody have any problems with that? I take it as no. Everybody should know that. And what if you wanted to solve for x? How would you do that? Now, I'll tell you something. You can't factorize this equation. If you cannot factorize an equation, what's the next step you have to take to solve a quadratic?
Mhm.
Anybody could answer. If you cannot factorize a quadratic, what's the next step?
Solve it using the formula.
Solve it using the formula. Right. So the formulas go like this. X is equal to, I don't think you all seen the screen. That's weird. It's real weird. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Somebody tell me the formula real quick.
Minus b
Right?
plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Yeah. Right. So let's solve now. So Healy, all you're gonna do is you're gonna make a substitution. Anywhere you see b, you're gonna put.
Minus 2.
Now, I know somebody gonna do this and leave it like that. Is that correct?
Nah.
No, because it's negative b. So it's negative, open bracket, negative 2. With me?
Yeah.
It's negative b, and b is minus 2, so it's negative negative 2. Cool. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. B is negative 2. So you need to put negative 2 in brackets. A mistake somehow they might make, or they might say minus 2 squared. And when you put it into the calculator again, minus 4. You have to put the whole b term inside the brackets. So that's negative 2 squared. Minus 4, a is 1, and c is 3. All over 2a. Right. So Haley, let's simplify this real quick. Right? So Haley, simplify that for me. Negative by negative is a?
Positive.
Right. Everybody here have a Casio. Or they could jam this into the calculator and tell me wait is fast. We're wasting on time. All we could do to we head, that will be, or that we have some trouble there. That will give us imaginary roots. So this is a very poor example. It's a very poor example.
I got minus 8.
Yeah. And can you find the square root of a negative number?
No.
You can't find the square root of a negative number. So this was a very bad example. Let me fix the example real quick. So I could say, yep, this will work. So I'm gonna change b to minus 4. So if I do that, tell me new answer. This should work out really nice. You should get 16 minus 12, which is,
You can repeat?
so I changed the b term to minus 4. So you have minus 4 squared minus 4 by 1 by 3. So minus 4 squared, that will be
16,
16 minus 4 by 1 by 3. 4 by 1 by 3 is
12,
16 minus 4. 16 minus 12 is 4.
4.
Right, let me go. If any of you are taking notes, let me know if I'm moving about too much, right? So then we're going to end up with two different cases. But before we do the two different cases, let's find the square root of 4. Keely, can we actually find the square root of 4? Is that something we could find?
Yeah.
What's the square root of 4?
2.
2. Again, some of you all might be confused by this sign. All that sign means it just means you can't make up your mind. A positive and negative, make up your mind, right? So you're going to have two different cases. They're kind of bipolar. So the first case is going to be positive. We're going to consider the positive case. Positive case. Haley, make a wild guess. What do you think the positive case would look like?
2 plus 2 over 2.
Right, 2 plus 2 over 2, 4 over 2, the answer is 2. Now we're going to move on to the negative case. What would the negative case look like, Vade? Can I hear and Vade? Aliyah, what would the negative case look like?
2 minus 2 over 2.
This one real hard. Where's 2 minus 2?
0.
Where's 0 over 2?
0.
All right. So let me explain something. In the questions you are about to see, you'll have to multiply two binomial terms. A binomial term will look like x plus 3, x plus 1. You'll have to multiply that. You'll have to get it into the form of a quadratic. Depending on your answer, you might have to use the quadratic equation and solve for x. There's the other method I'm going to show you now as well. So this was a good example. Not the start, but now it is. So Healy, you see that we get nice, cool answers. The answers we get real nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I'm not trusting the negative case answer. Let we solve this using the other method. So this method would work for any quadratic because you could use the quadratic formula for any quadratic. But let we solve it using factorization now. So if I want to solve this using factorization, we're gonna come aside here. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. And Haley, I'm not sure if you are acquainted with this method. We're gonna look at the first term. What would you have to multiply to get x squared? What by what?
1.
What does x squared mean, Aliyah?
X by x.
Yes. Haley, anytime you see something being raised to a power, that means you're multiplying that number by that amount of times. If I see 5 to the power 3, that means 5 by 5 by 5. So x squared is x by x. You understand?
Yeah.
So we're going to write x by x. Then we're going to look at the last term. So you want to find a way that you could multiply to get 3, but add to give you the second term, the term in the middle. Now notice something. We want to get positive 3. What are all the ways you could get positive 3?
1 multiplied by 3.
But if I add 1 and 3, will I get negative 4?
No.
Is there any other way I could get positive 3? Is there any other way I could get positive 3? You might have to think
Um,
out negative. It might have to be like who? Who's real negative in class? Kira? Yeah.
minus 1 minus 3.
Yes. Because a negative by a negative is a positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do something wrong. Something is wrong there. Definitely. Did anybody spot what we did wrong? So when we solved it using the quadratic formula, we got some strange answers. Let me see
The
what could have
minus b in front supposed to be minus 4. Like,
which part?
x is equal to minus b plus or minus, you have minus 2. Well, minus 2.
Oh, I see it, I see it.
Oh.
Yeah, because we changed the b term. We changed
Yeah.
it. Right, so now it's
Mhm.
-4. All right, so that would turn to 4. Right. Right, man. Big up Amy. All right. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1.
If you make an edit on the screen, I can't see it by the way.
That's real weird. Nobody see any changes on the screen?
No.
No? Oh my. Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the mistake that I made from a blind self, I changed b. I changed it over here, but I didn't change it over here. So we would have gotten two different cases then. It would have been 4 plus 2 over 2 and 4 minus 2 over 2. So 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 over 2 is 3. So these are the two methods in which you could solve a quadratic equation. You could use the quadratic formula, or you could use factorization. It's also called the simple trinomial method. Trinomial because you have three terms. So, Haley, is there anything you want me to go over here?
No, I think I'm pretty good with it. No,
No.
the formula.
All right. And did I finish here? Am I
Mm,
finishing? Did I solve for x?
no,
No, I didn't solve for x. What would x have to be to make this bracket 0? What would I have to plug in? What minus 1 is 0?
0.
No, 0 minus 1 is minus 1. I'm going to give you a hint. What's 5 minus 5?
0.
Okay, so what minus 1 is 0?
1.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, when x is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, and you're multiplying 0 by this other bracket, and 0 by anything is.
0.
So the first answer is x is equal to,
1.
right? And what was the other value for x that can make the bracket 0?
0.
No. If I put 0 into any of these brackets, I will not get 0. 0 minus 1 is not 0. 0 minus 3 is not 0. So if I put 1 here, 1 minus 1 is 0. A way to look at this bracket. What minus 3 will
3.
give me 0?
3.
3. Did I get any different answers from the quadratic method?
No.
I get the same answers. So we're good, right? We're Gucci.
Yeah.
The next thing we need to learn is we need to learn how to sketch a quadratic. So let me just fix up these notes here. This is how you solve it using the quadratic formula. Aliyah, I hope you're taking pretty notes on thing,
I am.
Ah, slay, slay. Big up yourself. All right. And this is using factorization. All right. So these are the two different methods. What I'm saying is not all the time you could use factorization. So if you're having trouble with factorization and you just want to get your marks, use the quadratic formula fast and solve the values for x. But factorization is faster. So Haley, for your sake and for everybody else's sake, I'm going to run over factorization one more time. So Haley, when you're doing
Yeah.
factorization of a quadratic, you're looking at the first term and the last term. So to get my first term, which is x squared, I would have said what by what?
X by X.
right? And to get my last term, that'll be what?
Minus 1 minus 3.
Right. What if the middle term was plus 4x?
It'll be plus 1 plus 3.
Perfect. And then the other question you got to ask yourself is, what would x have to be to make the bracket 0? So when x is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. When x is 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. So you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Do you know how to do the expansion of the product of two binomial terms? So
Yeah.
in other words, do you know how to expand this back to get this term?
Mm.
Okay. Aliyah, don't you know how to do that from AdMaths?
Yeah.
Okay. For the AdMaths students here, I don't want to waste all their time. If all they could be doing something productive, let me give all them something productive to do. So let me check out January 2025 and see if I can give all you a question in the meantime. I know all the AdMaths people kind of overpowered now. Right. So I'll send any questions for those who do in AdMaths, or they could jump ahead because all of this stuff should be easy. So you all could try these questions I sent on each chat. Right. In the meantime, Keely, let me explain how we're going to do this, right? So you understand that this and this supposed to be the same thing.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the same thing. So when I expand this, I'm supposed to get back this. So let me show you how we're going to expand it. You're going to take the first term and you're going to multiply it by the other two terms in the second bracket. Then you're going to look at the second term in the first bracket and you're going to multiply it by the two terms in the other bracket. With me?
Yeah.
So look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to say x by x. What is x by x?
X squared.
Right? Then we're going to do x by minus 3. What is x by minus 3?
Minus 3x.
Right? And we're going to move on to the minus 1. What is minus 1 by x?
Minus 1x. Or minus x.
Right? And then we have the last term to multiply off. What's the last term to multiply off?
Minus 1 by minus 3.
What is minus 1 or minus 3?
Minus 4. No.
Minus 4? Nah.
4.
No, not 4. You're having some trouble with the multiplication. Let me explain. If you had to multiply 1 by 3, what you was going to say? What is 1 by 3?
3.
Okay, you wouldn't say 4. So if you have negative 1 by negative 3, there's no
Oh,
difference.
sorry. Oh my god. I don't know why I had
So the answer is?
3.
The answer is 3. So that'll be plus 3 equal to 0. Now we have to simplify. Are there any other x squared terms in the equation?
No.
No, so I write back x squared. It have minus 3x and I have minus x. So how much minus x's you have?
Minus 2.
No. This is gonna be real controversial, right?
Minus
Healy.
4.
Yeah, because Healy, let me just say you're a bad girl, right? And you real disloyal to your friends. So you take 3 of your friends' x and you take another one. How much x's you take?
4.
Way boy Healy. Healy, you dreadiest. But you understand the concept, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Try not to mess up with those signs because the questions we'll be doing, it'll have a lot of signs. And you'll need to handle the signs correctly. So no red flags. We didn't have any other constants, so I'll write back the plus 3. I want you to observe. Is this the same form as what we had originally?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to be able to do that expansion. Need to. So if you all need to take time, copy this down quickly and we will do a question. Pass with a question. Vade, let me know if everything here very easy. Like this real easy, we good? I'm not hearing from Vade at all.
So,
Okay, I
you
see
hear
you
me
on
now?
mute. Yeah, hearing you.
Yeah, I was speaking before. I don't know if you're saying me or not.
No, I wasn't hearing you.
Oh, all right.
This easy, right?
Yeah, the factorization easy, but I feel like I could do like I go to the quadratic formula, but I feel like I just look out touch up again on it again.
I'll do an example. I'll do another example. It's real simple, I promise.
Yeah.
Real simple. Right, and Kirsten, how are you feeling? I know you be real quiet, something real shy. Let me know how you feeling. Kirsten, drop something in the chat. Drop a one in the chat if you're there with us. Kiara, you with us? Or you're sleeping? I know you're very
Hi,
good.
I'm here.
Yeah, like
Barely, but I'm here.
that's good. So Kiara, all of this stuff easy, right? Like this is lightweight. You're not even using your brain. Like this real easy, right?
Yeah, it's easy. You see, the thing is, like, with this, I know it and stuff. It's just, like, I need to practice it more because I just mix it. I just always mix up factorization for exam.
What do you mean you just mix up factorization?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Yeah, elaborate. I'm gonna give you
Like,
a question.
I don't know what I just do in the paper, but it don't be this. But, like, I know how to do this.
Well, we'll do some harder examples for sure. Don't worry. Haley, you think you'd feel more confident if we did more factorization questions?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
we'll do some more.
yeah,
So as soon as you have this copy down, just let me know. We'll
I
begin.
do.
Okay, Haley, you have it copied down. Uh guys, if all you have it copied down, raise all your hand, unmute, say something, because we had to move on. Real work to do. I'm gonna take it that everybody have it copied down. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna make an assumption, right? So that being said, let me give you all some questions to practice on. Factorize the following. I'm gonna start off easy, and then I'm gonna get progressively harder. Right? So I have so the first one, I want you all to factorize and solve for x. So x squared plus 6x plus 8. Factorize the following and solve for x. Right. Question 2. Amy, you okay?
Yeah. Are there any questions, yes, ma'am?
Okay, no problem. Okay, I want you all to factorize those. And in addition to that, what do I want you all to do? What's a good exercise? Let me think. I'm thinking. Ah. All right, so factorize the following and solve for x. Right, so that's part one. And then the other part, expand the product All right, so yeah, try out thing there. I give it only 10 minutes. So again, the method you're going to employ is you're going to look at the first term to get x squared, I would say x by x. And then you're looking at the last term. Wait, give me an example. Well, how I could multiply to get 8?
We can multiply it to get 8, sir.
Yeah, well, I can multiply to get 8, but also add to get 6. So give me some examples of how I can multiply to get 8. Just call off.
2 times 4 is 8.
Right, 2 times 4 is 8. If you add 2 and 4, what are you going to get? Wisdom?
6.
So does that satisfy our condition?
Yes.
So that's the answer. That will be x plus 2 by x plus 4. That's it. You're going to apply that same concept for the others. So Haley, you figure out the answer for the first question.
Yeah, I'm expanding it.
All right, nice. And when you expand it, what are you supposed to get back?
X squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0.
Perfect. Haley, you want to know what's crazy?
What's that?
The video on TikTok only have 400 saves. That's crazy. That's like
Which
insane.
which one?
You want to talk about the function again?
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. Nearly 12,000. What?
Congrats.
Yeah. When all the girl ones and thing I'll post all you and celebrate all you. Even like a 2. A 2 is good in maths. But like the 3, we don't want to get 3s. Alright, so Haley, when you expanded the x squared plus 6x plus 8, when you expanded the factorized form, did you get back the x squared plus 6x plus 8?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. So Vade, as soon as you finish sending me working, I remember I had the problem with you, not necessarily sending working, and I didn't really know what you was doing. So I want to see you working and see what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to do the questions on the board too.
Alia, if you feel very confident with this and you feel like this is lightweight and you'd rather do it, then you could do
Because
the other
I'm,
questions I sent on the chat.
yeah, I'm doing those right now.
Sure, no problem. You're an advanced students after all, so like this should be easy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, well, currently I'm doing the working on the same tablet I'm using the class. So I'll have to transfer to book on some of the pictures.
Okay, do that fast. Time is of the essence. I'll let you my password there. To come and rob man, steal my iPad, eh? All right, so Keely, things looking good?
Yeah.
Nice. So once you all could do this, the next step is to be able to do questions where you have to subtract. So you'd have to expand, subtract, and put it in a quadratic form, and then factorize. It sounds like a lot. It is a lot. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So Haley, you reached question 2.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Amy, what's with that emoji? What's going on?
Um, well, I kind of like don't know what to do after there.
Ah,
Because if I try to factorize the other one, I would just get and I solve for E like that. I wouldn't really get a whole number answer. So
well, what if you do have to get a whole number answer? Let me check the options. Oh, the options have
yeah,
to be whole numbers. Let
yeah.
me explain something. You remember when we was doing indices, like the indices questions? Like imagine we had 2 to the x and it was equal to 16, and you'd have say 2 to the x and you'd have write 16 as 2 to what power? 16 is 2 to what power? Come on, fast. You had to know this. 16 is 2 to what power?
4.
4. So by writing the left hand side and the right hand side in the same form, I was able to equate an unknown. Because if
Oh, okay.
2 and 2 is the same, then x had to be equal to 4. So you can apply the same concept here. Try to get the left hand side to be equal to the same format of the right hand side, and then you could equate terms. For instance, if I had something like ax squared plus, wait, oh, didn't I run out of space here? Okay, imagine if I had that is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. What would a be equal to? Since this side and this side are in the same form, what would a be?
1.
A is 1, b is
6,
C is
8.
right. Apply that concept.
Okay, I know what to do.
Right, so Shirley, we on to question 3, or you're still on question 2?
On question 3.
Okay. Nice. For question 2, right? What two numbers did you multiply to get 10?
-2 minus 5.
Right, because those two would add to give you -7. Nice. I do suspect question 3 will be that easy, but I still think you can figure it out.
I get -5 plus 2. So,
Yes. Okay, Keely, it gets in there, it gets in there. It gets in there. I'm proud of you for seeing that, you know. That's not so easy to see.
um,
All right, and Healy, for question 4, what did you choose?
and now expanding it. Question 3.
All right. So Vade, I'm waiting on your response. Right.
Yes, sir. Still writing it down.
You finish?
On right now on question 3. We're working it
All right.
out on the book.
All right, so Vade, for question 3, what two numbers you can multiply to get -10? Just tell me any number.
I did -5 and +2.
Right, -5 by +2. When you combine them, you would get,
3.
wait, number?
Negative 3.
-3? Yes. And you could do the same thing for question 4. So tell me, what number you can multiply to get 35?
7 and 5.
But when you add 7 and 5, where is get?
12.
Or
What
we
you
want to
mean
get
negative?
-12. Where's
So it will
another
be
way I could
negative
tell
7,
me?
negative 3.
Negative.
7 or -5.
That's correct. Yeah, that's easy, guys. It's easy. Yes, Amy, that's correct. So, Amy, you just now solved one of the hardest SAT questions in the entire SAT history. Yeah.
I think if I think about the equation thing, how would I get through? Like, I think that was the only part I struggled with.
Mm.
It was,
But now you know what trick. Everything linked together. Everything linked together.
yeah,
You feeling confident with that?
yeah, I feel it.
Let me get you a hard one to factorize.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna make you work your brain out. That big brain. Try to factorize this. Minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 35. Knock yourself out. This one you had to use intuition and not so basic. Okay, Vade. I like what I'm seeing for question 2 and 3. I'm not seeing question 1 though.
So, kind of thought like how I work it out in verbally with you, so how when you're going to write it back.
You would think that, eh? You would think that. Well, let a couple days pass and you'll be like, what? I just like that, you know. But I learned to regret it. I learned to regret it. I'll be like, yeah, I know this. Yeah, but the human memory isn't so amazing.
Okay, so
So I recommend copying it down.
will do, so thanks.
Yeah. But good job. I like how you're already working. All right, so see now everybody good with factorization. I like what I'm seeing. So since everybody good with the factorization and the expansion, well, wait, I didn't get the expansion from yours yet, but we had to move on. It's 822, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna answer the question in one shot. Right, that's what I'm gonna do.
So, did you call me?
Yeah, I said I didn't get the factorization from you, but we had to move on. I will explain it on the board. Right. So, Kiara, I want to call upon you real quick. Kiara, you there? Not hearing from Kiara. Let me ask Aliyah. Aliyah, let me do this real fast, right? So, Aliyah, we want to factorize x squared plus 6x plus 8. First things first, what are to multiply to get x?
X by X.
X by x to get 8.
4 by 2.
4 by 2 and 4 plus 2 is 6, so that work out. And then we expand it fast. So to expand that, I would say x by x, then x by 4, then 2 by x, then 2 by 4. So, tama fast. X by x
X
is
by X. X squared. X by 4 is 4x. So plus 4x. Plus 2x.
yeah,
Plus 8.
right. You see any like terms?
Yeah. 4x plus 2x. So that'll be x squared plus 6x plus 8.
Right. Cool. For the sake of time, I'm going to do one more question fully. So, Aliyah, let's do question 4 fully. So, what would I multiply to get x? I mean x squared,
X by X.
right? To the 5.
7 by 5.
Right. But 7, but if you add 7 and 5, you get positive 12. We gotta get negative 12 in the middle.
You could do -7
-7, right?
-5
Yeah, because -7 minus 5
is
is 35,
-12.
and minus
Yeah.
12. And then we expand it very fast. That'll be x by x, x by minus
X
5,
squared
right? X squared,
minus 5x
right?
minus 7x plus 35. You
Right?
get x squared minus 12x plus 35 is equal to 0.
Cool. And I want to do question 3. I'm just going to put on the answer for question 2. So the answer for question 2 is, well, x by x is x squared. And then to get -7, that'll be -2 minus 5, right? Question 3. Alia, this one a little tricky. To get x squared is x by x. To get -10, how could you multiply to get -10?
5 by 2.
I could say 5 by 2. 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is positive 10.
You could do
How do you get -10?
um you could do -5 by +2.
Positive 5. Say that again?
No, -5 multiplied by +2.
Right. Since we want to get a negative term in the middle, the negative number has to be bigger than the positive number. That makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because -5 plus 2 is -3, and -5 by 2 is -10. So
Yeah.
yeah, these are my answers, right? And let me just find the answer for x real quick. So earlier we're moving with speed. So in the first question, we have x plus 2 by x plus 4. So the answer is going to be x is equal to -2 and x is equal to,
-4.
right? And the reason I'm saying that is because when x is minus 2 plus 2 is 0, 0 by anything is 0. When x is minus 4 plus 4 is 0, 0 by anything is 0. So yeah. If all you want to think about it, just write it whatever it have inside it, just write the opposite sign for. That you can think about like that. Right? Aliyah, this one is
X is equal to 2 and x is equal to 5.
right. Amy, I kinda didn't want you to use the quadratic formula. I wanted you to bust your brain and use factorization because you could factorize that. You just had to use intuition. It's harder, but you could factorize that.
Oh, okay.
Right? Then this will be x is equal to 5. This will be x is equal to -2. Right? Over here we have x is equal to 7 and x is equal to 5. So Healy, I must say, I'm very impressed. You feeling good about yourself?
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do was put what x equals to, but I added it now.
Okay, don't figure it out. They ask you to solve for x. So you had to show them what x is. So
Yeah.
before we do this really, really difficult question, I want to do a question a step above. So, Haley, in all of these questions, what was the coefficient for x squared?
Mm.
And Vade, you could answer too if you want. What is all the coefficients equal to? All the coefficients is what? A simple question. How much x squared terms are you seeing?
So 0 will be
No,
equal to 0.
no, not 0. I see in 1x squared. I see that x squared. But how much x squared is you seeing? In each equation, how much x squared is you seeing?
1.
1. The coefficient is 1. Let me ask that question. Haley, where's the coefficient of x in this equation? How much x is he seeing? Don't take it literally, yeah? Like, don't try to count the x's you're seeing. Look at the number in front.
-12.
Right. So, Vade, if I ask you how much x's it have in that equation, how much x's you gonna tell me it have?
Positive 6.
Right. So 6 is the coefficient of x. If I ask you how much x squared it have in that in equation 1, how much x squared you seeing?
1.
So 1 is the coefficient for x squared because you have 1x squared. This means 1x squared, right? Awesome. I'm gonna change the dynamic now. What if a was a number that's not equal to 1? What would happen? So let me show you what happened. Starting off easy, nothing too hard. So we have 2x squared plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, nice. So how would we solve this? Haley, I want you to notice something. What is the coefficient of x squared here?
Oh,
2. So things are gonna change a little bit. It is. So how would I multiply to get 2x squared? It's so complicated, but let me ask you this. How would you multiply to get 2? What by what is 2?
1/2.
Cool. Let me keep that in mind. 1 by 2 is 2. What by what is x squared?
X by x.
So 1x by
2
is?
2x squared.
Yes. All right. So that'll be x by 2x. And now, this is the hard part. In these questions, when we expanded, right? So Vade, Keely, Aliyah, rest of you guys, when we expanded, so Vade, I want to show you something, right? When we expanded for x, did it change the term? Like, what I'm asking is minus 5 by x. Did the x change anything? Or did you simply get back minus 5x? Did the minus 5 stay?
So you got back the minus 5x.
Okay, I'll explain that again. So Vade, because it have x here, if x multiplied by minus 5, will it retain the minus 5? Are you seeing minus 5 in the answer?
Yes, it should.
It is the same. But if I had 2x now, that would be 2x by minus 5, and the answer would now change to what's
Mm,
2x? What's 2x by minus 5?
that was minus 10x.
Right. So anytime a or the coefficient of x squared is not 1, you have some problems because now it actually causing some problems. So to get 2x squared, I could say 2x by x. And Haley, the next question is, we're going to look at the last term. To get 2, how would you multiply to get 2?
1/2.
Okay, so this is a kind of trial, right? Once a is not 1, we had a kind of guess. So I'm going to put this down, right? So, Haley, I put that down. I want you to pay attention to something. To get 2, you say 1 by 2, but if you add 1 and 2, will you get 4?
No.
No, but that'll make me wrong. Remember, because this is now 2x, any 2x would now multiply by that 2 and change it. So if it was x, it'd be 2x, but now it's actually going to be what x? What's 2x by 2?
4x.
Right, so the dynamics are going to change. So with these questions, you kind of have to expand it out fast and see if you're correct. So let me do that real fast. 2x by x is 2x squared. 2x by 2 is 4x. 1 by x is 1x. And 1 by 2 is 2. Haley, you understand how I expand that fast?
Yeah.
Okay, but will this give us the original?
No.
No, that wouldn't give us the original. It wouldn't. Because 4x plus 1x is
5x.
right. So Vade, we don't really have an option, right? We don't really have anything we could really do again. Because n2 is 1 by 2. You can't really change that, right? And 2 is 1 by 2. 2 is our prime number. So 2 is 1 by 2. But there is something I could actually do. Clearly, n2 is the same thing as 2 by 1.
Yeah.
So if I wanted, I could change the spot. a change the spot now. Let's see if that makes a difference. Let's see if that makes a difference. So 2x by x is 2x squared. 2x by 1 is 2x. 2 by x is 2x. 2 by 1 is 2. Will that give us the original term?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with these, once a is not 1, there's a trick associated with it. So what you would have to do is you'd have to try some values, expand it out, see if it's correct. Yeah. Or you could use the quadratic formula. Right? Let me give all you an easy one like this to try to figure out this one. I wouldn't bother with this. If I see something like this, guys, just use the quadratic formula. Don't make all your life hard. And Vade, if you're looking at this, tell me what A, B, and C is.
A 6, B 11, C 35.
No. What's the number in front of x squared? The full number. What's the full
D
number in front of x squared?
-6.
Right, not 6. That's -6. What's the full number in front of x?
-11.
Right. So that's a mistake you could make that could possibly make you get 2 instead of a 1. Because when you put it into the quadratic formula, you get a different answer. So take a little note around on the side, right? So I want you all to try to factorize 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. Amy, did you figure out minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 35 using factorization?
Yeah, I use it well with the quadratic formula, but yes, I use integration. So
No. I mean, no, not integration. Factorization.
oh
Factorization. Yeah. So you see how
um
you probably did say integration, knowing myself, but you factorize. I want you to bust your brain and try to figure out how we would factorize it, because this is
oh
factorizable. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So, Aliyah, I want you to try 6, right? Everybody in class, I want Aliyah to try 6 because Aliyah, question 6 is something where you will get in hard maths. You probably wouldn't get those simple things, but you might get something like 6, and you should be able to factorize 6. So I want you to try question 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Aliyah, you there?
Yeah.
All right, nice. So with those questions, I will repeat it again. Sometimes you would need to guess, then factor. You'd have to guess, then expand and see if you're correct. If you're not correct, switch the order. Amy, you want me to show you a trick?
Wait, I could tell you. I think it's this already.
Wait, once you have the values for the quadratic, like when you solve it using the quadratic formula.
Yeah, you do the opposite.
Yes. Oh, he's
Yeah,
still so
just
alive.
look back.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah. I just before I factorize, I was always trying to get my calculator to make my life easy.
Nice. Now that'll be
Yeah.
so like if you say x is equal to 5/3, you multiply by 3 on both sides, and then you move
Mm-hmm.
across the 5. So that'll be 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. That's one of the factors. And then the other
Yeah.
factor. And sometimes you would have to do that in odd maths. You would have to do that in odd maths, that method.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Cause I think it's that same thing in our maths.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll come for differentiation, believe it or not. And integration. You just have to know when to use it.
Mm-hmm.
right? So Aliyah, I want to hear how question 6 coming along.
It's okay.
Aliyah, how you sounding so low energy, sounding like you're bummed out. What giving you trouble?
Well, I get you with the 3x.
Right? So they get 3x squared, what you say?
What was that?
They get 3x squared, what you say?
3x by x.
And let me look at the last term. I make it real easy for you. What's the last term?
1.
What's the only way you can multiply to get 1?
1 by 1.
Yeah, 1 by 1. So if you switch it, it wouldn't matter. So that's supposed to be a nice question to practice with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
So at 9 o'clock, I'll give all a little break, like a 5 minutes break. Don't drink any hard substances. Come back to class with a clear mind, and we'll continue at 9 o'clock. All right. Kira, you're falling asleep. Kira, you're not having it at all, ain't?
She do. She don't blue. Mommy do that. What do you mean, Rajeev?
Where's Kira?
I say, what do you mean?
What I mean? It sounds
What
like
do
you're
you
sleeping now. And Kira,
mean?
you leave your mic unmuted and you were snoring loud.
For sure.
Keely, and she was saying Kira snoring and thing and talking about all kind of thing in she sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, Kira, I want you to help me with question 6. You're gonna help me with question 6. And you're gonna help me with the minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 35. Yeah, right? Yeah, good job, Amy. Good job. That's such an underrated method. Just use the quadratic formula. Nobody's really teach that. Like I surprised, like nobody will show anybody that. It's crazy. And the thing is, right, Amy, if you even if like you're not that smart, well, I'm not saying not everybody not like not everybody could be smart. It's a controversial thing, but let me just say you don't want to put the effort, but you still want to make it look like you're extremely smart. You could always do that shortcut because to do factorization a lot harder than the quadratic formula.
Yeah.
Like what would give you more trouble?
Factorization for sure.
Yeah, right. So Aliyah, that was a nice one, and that was reasonably easy.
A little too easy, I find. Like,
Uh, can I
it was
switch up?
all. Yeah.
Okay, well, we can do this one next. So Vade, I'm calling upon you. And Kira, you got me with a really difficult question. That should get you going, right? So Vade, I want to factorize 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask myself, what can multiply to get back 3x squared? What by what is 3x squared?
So what by what is 3x squared?
Yeah. How could we multiply to get 3x squared?
I think I'm fried. Gosh.
Let's say that again.
I think I'm fried, sir.
Think you're fried. I'm asking that question. What by what? How would you multiply to get 3? What by what is 3?
1/3.
Okay. How would you multiply to get x squared?
X by X.
See if you can figure it out there.
And 3x by X.
Yes, that is it. That is it. Because 3 by 1 is 3 and x by x is x squared. Put them together, you get your answer. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? So 3x by x. And last, that make it real easy for you. What's the last number? What's the last number in this expression?
1.
1. How I can multiply to get 1?
1 by 1.
Yeah. Right? So that'll be plus 1, plus 1. Right? So now we expand and we see if we correct. So Vid, how would I expand this?
What do you expand? Mm,
Mm.
3x squared plus
Right?
4.
So the 3x by the x squared, I mean the 3x by the x, then the 3x by the 1, right? So tell me.
Um,
So 3x by x is 3x squared. Then we're going to say 3x by 1. Where's 3x by 1?
is 3x, and then 1 by x would be x. 1 by 1 would be 1.
Have any other x squared terms? Or 3x squared is the only one?
3x squared.
Yeah. That's the only x squared term it have there. We can't do anything with that. You see in multiple x squared, you see in multiple x terms?
Multiple x terms, but nothing else besides the 3x squared. That's
We-
actually squared.
So I have a 3x and I have a x. So if you were to tell me how much x's I have altogether,
It'll be 3x plus that x.
yeah. So how much x's is that? So,
So 3x
so
plus,
that,
we do know with the equation, so 3x plus 3x squared plus 4.
so 3x plus x is 4x, right? Because imagine if you have 3x's and you get another x, that's 4x's. Yeah, understand the concept?
Yes, sir.
So what would be 2x plus x?
3x,
What would be 5x minus x?
4x.
Yes. So you have it on lock. Right? 3x plus x is 4x. Plus 1, that's equal to 0. Nice. So we correct. Right? And now if we wanted to find for x, how would we find for x? Let me see if you could do that. So if you want to find for x, you look at these terms and you put it equal to 0. So you would say 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. And you would say x plus 1 is equal to 0. And you're trying to solve for x here. So how would I solve for x?
Yeah, you would minus the 1 from both sides.
Correct. So that'll be 3x is equal to negative 1. And then I would?
Divided by 3. Divide the two of them by 3.
Perfect. And this one is really simple. X would just be equal to
1. Negative 1.
perfect. Nice. Feeling good?
Yeah. So I kind of have a little headache, so I'm feeling kind
Oh,
of fried.
feeling fried already.
Well, I was doing work before, so
Okay, okay.
a
Things are gonna
little
get
bit.
intense. Things are gonna get real intense. So that break at 9, But how do you want this? If all you want to give all a 10-minute break, take a 10-minute break. Right? So Haley, you understand question 6?
Yeah.
So Haley, you're ready for them, right? Like them all know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, I want to let you try the other question, the very hard one. This one is like bonkers level hard. It don't really get harder than this. If it get harder than this one, you definitely have to use the quadratic formula. You don't have no feasible way you could solve it using factorization. All right, you are not seeing the screen. It's weird. Haley, as soon as you see the screen, let me know. Oh, I'm not supposed to see that. I'm not trying to do that, I promise.
You big comedian.
Way. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't have no malintentions here. Anyways, uh, let me
In
put
red too.
what? Let me change it to yellow. Next thing I post is on YouTube and people come from with like politics and thing. I go put the kill all in red. That makes sense. You know,
Right.
we're being politically neutral. Being politically neutral. Yeah, so let me go. I could give all you 5 minutes and hope for the best. Try something. It's hard, but try something. Better to try something than try nothing. So Healy, maybe I could give all
Yeah.
you some hints how you could multiply to get minus 6x squared. If you're
I
con
got
tell
I
me.
minus 3x multiplied by 2x.
Yeah, that's correct. I like where you're going. Right? That would
That's
be him.
that's all I do so far.
Okay, and to get 35, what you would say? Just pick something
Um,
and you could just experiment as you go along.
7 and 5.
Yeah, if you say 1 by 35, that don't make sense. Because like, no.
Yeah.
Just no. How that make sense? So try something. Hey, look, Nicholas. Nicholas, you could do my favor and wake up Kiara. She only fallen
Alright,
asleep. I don't know what
okay.
going on.
Awaken!
As soon as Nicholas come, you sound like your energy. Eh. But we have two soldiers come back from the dead. Big up Vade and Nicholas.
Alright, so.
Yeah, so Nicholas, what we're doing is we're doing quadratics. You miss out the easy part and you just join straight into the difficult patch.
And I come for all the hard questions. I ready for it.
Right? So you could try this. After this, I'm gonna give all you a 10-minute break. When we come back, we're gonna do CSEC questions. We're gonna apply what we learned for area. Clearly, I can't lie, that joke was good, but it was unintentional though. It was unintentional. I thought it was seeing the screen. And when I look, it wasn't showing. And then it just pop up.
That's not true.
That is true. Why would I intentionally try to kill her? I would never do that.
It was like some horror scene.
I promise I didn't intend to do that. Like, it's just, things just happen. Anyways, put on your values, expand. If you get back the minus 6x squared minus 11x, you're correct. All right, and I want you to solve for x as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Nicholas, you'll discuss the details with your mom and everything, right? I'm gonna add you
Yeah.
to that.
Alright, good.
Yeah. Haley, you know how much people on TikTok ask to be in this? And I tell them I'll think about it because like, hmm, I feel like you go interrupt the regular flow. Or you feel like you go still talk plenty with strangers?
No, I might be shy.
I got a call on you.
I might. No. I asked my friend if she want to join, but I asked her yesterday and she was like, I actually too late.
Hear what? Show she the UNCP and M joke. That might convince you. Might just.
Okay.
Might just.
She said she might do Kerwin Springer's on, so she not sure.
That's what you call horn. That's what I mean I already know she's not really horn.
No, you don't know her at all.
Yeah. But that's it's okay, it's okay. Cool and Spring are good as well. Yeah. Right, so Haley, did you get through?
Just now.
Aliyah, what about you? Aliyah, I want to hear from you. Did you get through?
No.
How come? So wait, what did you say would multiply to give minus 6x squared?
I tried minus 3 by 2, but
That's the only way. Well, you could try the other way around. You could say 2x by minus 3.
but would it make a difference?
Yeah, it would make a difference. It would. It would make a big difference. Right? So you're just experimenting at this point. We cannot figure
Yeah,
out what we're gonna do. For this one over here, we know it had to be 2 and 3. And over here, we know it had to be what?
7 and 5.
Yeah. So just experiment. All right. Anybody have anything for me? Amy, you stay quiet. If you was gonna say anything. Yeah. Amy, if you want, you could do a question from Kira. You got through?
I think so. I think it's wrong. Or I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
I
can
would say
tell you.
something. I would say something, Kira, but I don't know if I should say it.
Say what?
As soon as Nicholas come in class, he start talking and thing.
Okay, I'll stop talking. You know what? I don't even want to send you the answer no more.
Wait, okay, never mind. I will tell Nicholas leave. That will fix it.
Yeah, no more.
I'm joking. Just tell my answer. Let me see what you do. Let me see what you do here. Let's see what's going on. Depending on the answer I listen, it might kill me. Out of shock. But I don't think I'll be more proud than shocked. Let me see what's going on. Aliyah, what about you? Hmm.
I
Figure
still
out.
try.
Still trying. Nicholas.
Yeah.
Vade. Vade, I want you to try something, Vade. I want you to try something. Kirsten. I want you to try something. Yeah. Okay. Kira, let me see what you have here. Okay, so you multiply throughout by negative and you split the middle term. That's fine. Yeah. No,
Accurate or
that's
like wrong?
it not entirely like you get the correct answer,
Correct.
right? You get the correct answer. It's just that
Wrong again.
3x, okay, if you expand 3x minus 5 by 2x plus 7, you wouldn't get back the
Mm-hmm.
original thing.
Oh. Okay. Wait. Let me try it again.
Aliyah, you want to run through the question? It was some more time to see if you could figure it out.
Give me like 2 minutes and then we can run through.
All right, Haley, what about you?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay, Aliyah excited. I don't want to prove me wrong. I'm not trying to kill Aliyah.
Solve for x2.
Where's Nicholas?
We had a solve for x2.
Yeah, solve x. Not using any quadratic formula.
Yeah.
I want to kill Aliyah. Haley, what is your TikTok username? I'll tag you on the caption.
I'll message it.
Okay, say no more. Yeah, you don't want to just advertise that.
No, he seems stuffiness.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that out loud. Say that out loud.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about it.
I'm supposed to treat it different though. Instead of a G is a B.
Oh, I forget, bro. I literally forget that name. I didn't even know that.
Instead of gay, it's B.
Oh, nah, I didn't even capping. I forget her name. I forget his name. I
And
don't
boy.
remember it now. I remember it now. Now that I bring it up.
Okay, I kinda give up.
You cannot give up,
Me too.
Yeah.
guys. No, we don't want this.
It's not making sense. Nothing I put down making sense.
Okay, Aliyah, tell me what you put, and I'll
I
make.
erased everything.
Okay, on the board, tell me you come up with something. So we're looking at the first term. Pick something for the first term.
Minus 3 and 2. Minus 3x and 2x.
Okay, and then pick something for 35.
7 and 5. Minus, well, I don't know. Just, yeah. Okay, whatever.
When we expand this, imagine if we do it and this is the answer.
Okay.
Imagine, right?
Wait,
Elia, just imagine.
I literally tried that.
Right? Minus 3x by 2x is minus 6x squared. Minus 3x by 5 is minus 15x. 7 by 2x is 14x. Okay, that wouldn't work.
No.
35. Okay, so that means we had to switch around something. We had to roll a switcheroo. Let me try that and see what happened. So I could put the 5 here and I could put the 7 here. So that'll be minus 6x squared minus 6x squared, right? Minus 21x plus 10x. Oh, yeah, check that. Check it out.
That could work.
That will work. It was that simple. You see?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel so stupid.
You want to try another one to redeem yourself?
Yeah.
Keely, what about you? You see, like just a simple thing of switching the 5 and the 7 make the big
You
difference.
know, right before I give up, I was gonna do that. Like, I swear.
Okay, let me drop some bombs here. Like Hiroshima. Let me explain something. The middle term, right? The middle term is positive or negative?
Negative.
It's negative. So if it's negative, that means you have a big negative number, right? And that makes sense, right? You have a big negative number. If I put a 5 over here, and the 5 would be multiplied by the minus 3. Like in the previous example, and the minus 3 was multiplying by the 5. Keely, I confuse you. Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
But confusing you?
A little bit. I
Okay.
don't know where reference was from.
Okay, hold on. When we expanded, and we just take the the first term and multiply by the two terms, the second term multiplied by the two terms.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying is, if our middle term is negative, that means somewhere we had to get a big negative number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it makes sense to put the 7 in the path where it would multiply by the negative number, because 7 is bigger than 5.
Oh.
Because 7 by minus 3 will produce a bigger negative number. And if I were to put 5 here, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I put 7 here, I get negative 21x. But if I put 5 over here, I'm going to get minus 15x. Catch on?
Yeah.
Aliyah, you catch on?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give Aliyah one more question since Aliyah is so eager about this. I have any other political colors. I think blue and what?
That's navy blue.
I think that is that, don't remember. Let me come up with that question first. I'm gonna come up with a similar format. Mm, right. Guys, I give it only 4 minutes. Then I'll give a 10-minute break. Oh, Keely, on
Yeah.
TikTok,
Oh,
you are the
I,
launch.
ch- I changed it real quick.
You
I've
change it?
been meaning to. Yeah. I'm gonna start posting. So
You are the one with no user. Like what's your PFP?
it's a star.
Star.
It's like a black background and a star.
Oh, okay.
And my name is Haley with a pink hat.
Oh, yeah. All right. Nice. So guys, try to factorize this one real fast. Like real fast. Because I might go a little over 10:30. But that's because we need to do CSAT questions. Right? I want to do at least 3 CSAT questions. Nicholas, you got through as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nice. All right, so Haley and Aliyah are no longer eager to solve this and prove all themselves wrong. So, Aliyah, get your answer. Again, I make it kind of simple here because I'm not gonna say anything. I want you to figure it out. If I say anything, that would take away from the sense of accomplishment.
I didn't get anything as yet.
All right. But you have it. Just like I will forever have hair on my head. I'm not gonna bald. Them math teachers who bald headed, they're not gonna be me. Nah, I manifested that. Hey, Nicholas, put it on and let's teach he come back in Shiva, boys.
Yeah.
Okay. I know he was teaching in a different school for some time.
I was teaching maths.
Naps?
Maths.
Just maths alone?
Yeah, I think so, but he does teach 5C.
Oh, I know he teach me pure maths, hard maths, maths. Yeah. But anyways, Nicholas, try to do this question. Try to solve it using the factorization method. Like I see you is usually you split in the middle term.
Yeah.
Try to do it using this method. Try
Alright.
something new. So you're gonna ask yourself, what I can multiply to get minus 6x squared. Then you're gonna ask yourself, what am I gonna multiply to get the last term? Then you expand, see if you're correct. If you're correct, leave it. If you're not, switch the order or something.
Alright.
Do we have to use minus 3 and 2?
Yeah, yeah, you have to. Have to.
Okay.
Okay. Here, you know, they already myself. Don't want to take out this part.
No, wait, I right there. Wait.
Yeah, hold on.
You see how fun maths could be? It can be very fun, you know. It could also be very frustrating if you're not getting the answer. But like, Aliyah, you see what we do? We just try something fast and get any second try. Do the same thing. Try that.
I get you.
You get through?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just write my answer properly.
Okay. Say no more. Say no more.
I get you.
Okay. That's what we're talking about. Right? So simultaneously, I want everybody to tell me the answer. So yeah, what did you say for minus 6x squared?
Minus 3 and multiply by 2x
Right? And when you say to get 3, and what order are you doing?
plus 2 and then minus 1.
Wait, what? Hmm. But I wouldn't, if I multiply those numbers, I wouldn't get back 3. Yada yada. Use numbers that will give you back 3.
I use minus 3x minus 1 into 2x minus 3.
Healy, that's what you're talking about.
That's what I was supposed to tell you. I did it wrong.
Tell me working before you do anything. Let me see if this is correct. Could be wrong. Minus 6x squared plus 9x minus. Okay, this is correct. Big up yourself, Aliyah. Big up yourself.
No, my entire working is wrong.
So, Healy, remember, is always the first term you're looking at, and it's the last term you're looking at.
Yeah,
Always.
I don't know why I did that.
Uh,
I kind of get like puzzled sometimes with the like getting back the middle term and the last term.
just expand. Just expand it out fast and see if you get through. So watch again. What is minus 3x by 2x?
Minus 6x.
I just now say minus 3x by minus 2x or whatever. Minus 6x squared, right?
Yeah.
What is minus 3x by minus 3?
9.
Right? Plus 9 plus 9x. What is minus 1 by 2x?
Minus 1x.
No. What is negative 1 by 2?
Sorry, minus 2x.
Right? And minus 1 by minus 3?
Positive 3.
Yeah. And then 9x minus 2x is 7x. So yeah, there's the answer. And they get back the 3. So Haley, if you want, I could give you extra questions. Like maybe two questions, and you could do it. Yeah. Prove yourself, prove everybody wrong. Like you could turn into like Master Shifu. Your brain will be like, like goated. You'll be like the maths warrior. You wanna be the maths warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. So here, what? Take a 10 minutes break. Come back at 9:27 or 9:28. I'm gonna do some CSEC questions. Yeah. Right, so we're back. We're gonna do May June 2023. What's the end there? May June 2023 paper 2, question 2. We're gonna do A, C, A, B, and C. Yeah. So we're gonna start off with basic rules for indices, simplifying algebraic expressions, and factorization. So let me go. Who wanna help me with the first question? Anybody like this is food. And here's somebody fast. Nobody.
Next
Very good.
class.
Thanks, Nicholas. Yeah, he didn't hurt my feelings. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Nicholas is a real one now. Yeah. So what does x to the power 3 by x to the power 3 squared mean? What does that mean?
That would be x to the power 6.
That's x to the power 6. But let me just say it, you forget that in the exam. Let me show you something, right? If I had 5 to the power 2, what does that mean? What is 5 squared? That's the same thing as what by what?
5 by 5.
So what do you think x cubed is? What do you think x cubed squared is? So 5 squared is 5 by 5. So x cubed squared would be?
X on the power of 3 by 2.
No, x to the power 3 by x to the power 3. You're correct, sir. Really, you apply any rule. By showing all you, what you could do if you forget a rule. Be correct. Anytime you raise on a power, it's a power, you multiply. Right? But I want to show it in a bunch of methods. So Healy you there, right? Healy, Alia.
Yeah, sorry, I was chewing.
Okay. It's a good thing you didn't say it was crashing out. I think that was crashing out. So we have x cubed to the power 2. Imagine you have 5 squared. 5 squared means 5 by 5. You could agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so x cubed squared means x cubed by x cubed. Anytime you see squared, you're multiplying something by itself, right? Now, what does x to the power 3 mean? That means you're multiplying x by itself 3 times. So if you're multiplying x by itself 3 times, again by itself 3 times, that's going to be x to what power?
6.
Yeah, that's the answer. But if only a simpler way to do it, with your rule, I'll show you that. So the indice rule here is that anytime you have x to some power, and you're raising it to the power n, the answer would just be x to the power a multiplied by n. So that's the rule. So I have x to the power 3. I have 3 raised to the power 2. So 3 by 2 is 6. So you can look at it in any way you want. Here you go with this question.
Yeah.
So the answer is x to the power 6. Aliyah, do I even need to explain this question, or you like real good with this? Like, this is easy, right?
Yeah.
All right, next question. Y to the power 8 divided by y to the power minus 5. This one a little tricky. A little tricky. So,
So
yeah,
it'll be like y to the power of 8 minus -5, which
yes,
should basically be 8 plus 5, which would be 13. So it's like
that's correct.
y. Okay.
That's correct. Excellent. Right? And again, you're using your rules for indices. Nice job. But Haley, did you learn your rules for indices?
A long time ago.
Okay, let me show you how to figure it out in the event that you cannot forget. So, watch the scenario. If I had, let me just say I had 5 to the power 9 divided by 5 to the power 2. That means you could consider you have 5 by itself 9 times on top, and then you have 5 by itself 2 times in the bottom. So when 2 of the 5s would cancel off with 2 on top, and that would be 7 now. Kira, making sense?
Yep.
Okay, Haley, that you understand, all right? So when you're dividing,
Yeah.
so if I were to write out the full thing, I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna show you this little example here. This is 5 to the power 4 divided by 5 to the power 1. The 5 in the bottom would cancel off with 1 on top. So you'll be left with 5 to the power 3. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, anytime you have the same base, in this case is 5, and you divide and you minus the powers. So Haley, I'll say that one more time. Imagine I have 5 to the power 9 divided by 5 to the power 3. 3 5s in the bottom would cancel off with 3 on top, so that would be 5 to the power 6. So the answer is 5 to the power 6. You understand?
Yeah.
So your rule for that is x to the power a divided by x to the power b. It's just simply the difference of the powers. So a minus b, like what Vade was saying. Excellent job, Vade. So what I want to show is how to come up with it in the exam if you get lost, right? That's important. So Haley, anytime you see a divide sign, that means you're minusing the powers, okay?
Yeah.
Are both of them the same base? And when I say base, I'm talking about it having the bottom, right? The y.
Yeah.
Both of them is y. So what I would mean, that would mean y to the power 8, right? Minus, because it's divide, minus 5. So what is minus by minus,
A positive.
right? So 8 plus 5 is?
13.
Right. Next one. We want to factorize xy minus y squared. What we want to do, we want to pull out the greatest common factor. This is GCF, greatest common factor. Aliyah, are you seeing anything in common in this term and this term?
Y.
Yeah, we have y. So if we have y in both terms, what we could pull out from both terms?
Y.
Makes sense. If I pull out y from xy, what that will be?
Y into X.
Y into x,
Well,
y
you'll
by
just
x,
you'll just remain with X.
right? Here, you understand our logic? So I'm saying, since I have y here, and this is y squared, we know y squared is y by y, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So xy minus y by y. So if I pull out the y from here, it would have x over here. And then I'm going to write back the negative sign, and I'm going to take out a y from the y squared. If I take out a y from the y squared, that will be x minus.
Y.
Yeah. Hilly, look at that, right? So if I take out the y, x. If I take out the y, y. So x minus y. You
Mhm.
understand? So I'm not a little confused. You want me to go back
No,
that?
I've learned this. I've learned this.
And you remember what I showed you previously. When you expand, you're supposed to get back the original thing. This is very easy to expand. You're going to take the y and you're going to multiply it by both terms. So Haley, what is y by x?
XY.
What is y by minus y?
Minus y.
I'm waiting for you to finish. Y by y. It's
Squared.
right. You should know that because of your username. See what I did there?
And then funny.
It's a harmless joke because nobody else get the reference, but you would. Because
Yeah.
squared. Anyways, so anytime you factorize and if you want to know you're correct, just expand. And if you expand, you're supposed to get back the original term. So we know we're correct. I presume everybody fine with this.
Mhm.
Right? The next one, we have Aliyah. What is this? Anytime I have something to the power 2, I would say that is like I would say this is 5 what?
Squared.
Are both of these terms squared?
Yeah.
So that is and okay, if I have
That's difference between two squares.
correct, it's self-explanatory. This is difference of two squares.
Mm-hmm.
So when we factorize in difference of two squares, there's a fixed form. The form is if you have a squared minus b squared, that's equal to a plus b by a minus b. And that's just something you had to learn off, right? So x squared minus y squared. So Haley, just replacing the a and the b, right? So x squared minus y squared would be
X plus y, bracket x plus y, and then bracket x minus y.
and if I expand that, what's supposed to get back?
X squared minus y squared.
And we know how to do that. So let me do that. What is x by x?
X squared.
What is x by minus y?
Minus y minus x.
Yes. What is y by x?
XY. Positive XY.
And what is minus y by y?
Minus y.
I'm waiting,
Squared.
right? And minus xy would cancel off with the xy. And watch. You see, we get back the x squared minus the y squared. Everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who find that this real boring, let me give Olia a question to challenge Olia. Because I know this, some of this is way too easy. I want you all to find the difference of two squares. I cannot sell it out there, but try it. Try this. I want you all to try 16. Um, hmm. Alia, I think I should give a challenging question to make Alia think a little bit.
No, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too hard, eh?
Try that. Let's see if I can figure out that one. Yeah. I'm so happy with myself. It's not a hard question. But you have to put it in the difference of squares form first before you could do anything. Let me see what they're gonna do. So, um, Amy, just by looking at that, is that any form of difference of two squares?
Yeah.
No. No, it isn't.
Which one? B? Oh, um, oh no.
No. It isn't explicitly in the form. Nicholas, does it look like is like a minus in two square terms?
The power is different.
The power is different, and additionally, we have like 20, we have a coefficient and things, so like, nah. Here what I could do. I could do a simple question, like a different question, and or they could work our way towards a question like this. So Haley, let me do that. I'm gonna give out a question. Imagine we had 16x squared minus 49y squared. Yeah, V, that's correct. That's correct. So, Haley, you there?
Yeah.
No, it has to be a difference of two squares. And you're probably saying, well, yeah, man, this is a difference of two squares. X squared minus y squared. And that's what you think it.
Yeah.
No, no,
Oh.
no. No, no. Right? Is this whole term being squared or just the x?
The whole term.
No, that is 16x squared. Oh, say it out loud. Say it slowly out loud.
16x squared. Oh,
Saying it too fast. 16.
16x squared.
Right. Is it 16 squared x squared? Are both of them being squared?
Mm.
No, just the x term. If both of them were squared, it would have looked like this. That's what it would look like.
Oh. Oh.
So right now, the only thing that being squared there is x. And the only thing that's being squared here is y. That's a problem. So let me show you what we do in situations like this. Come,
7.
say that again.
Would it be like 4x
I like we're going with this. Yeah, continue.
plus 7y?
Yeah, this you get it there.
And then 4x minus 7y?
Yeah, man. Okay, okay. Hey, boy. And that teaching real good or they just real smart tonight. I think it's all real smart tonight. Big up yourself, Healy. So you see that, right? Like watch. 16 could be written as 4 squared, right? And 16 could be written as 4 squared.
Yeah.
So I could write that as 4x squared minus 7y squared. And now is a difference of two squares. And
Yeah.
yeah. So now I could write 4x minus 7y by 4x plus 7y. Big up on yourself. For a question like this coming, it'll be like 3 marks or 2 marks. With that being said, I want to let you figure out this now. See if I could try a thing. At math students, if I don't get, I would be a little disappointed. Right. Nicholas, yes, that's correct. That is correct. Good job. So, Aliyah, way to help me with this one, right? Or you feel like you can figure it out by yourself? Which one? Hmm.
I figuring it out. I get you actually.
Okay. So, Healy, I want to make sure I'm not using ChatGPT. I want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure, yeah, you know what you're doing. So, break it up into steps somewhere. 16x to the power of 4. 16 could be written as,
16 can be written as 4x squared.
wait, ask is 16. 16 could be written as 4,
4
6,
squared.
right? And x to the power of 4 could be written as,
X squared.
not just x squared, x squared to the power,
Of 2.
yes. You catch what I did there?
Yeah.
Right? And then 25 could be written as,
5.
Y to the power squared, that's just y squared. So am I raising 4 to the power 2 and x squared to the power 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 4 to the power 2 and x squared to the power 2. So am I squaring both terms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
You saw it?
yeah. Because you have to square 4 and you have to square x.
So I have x to the power 4, right? X to the power 4, is that the same thing as x squared?
No.
No, because one is 4 and
No.
one is 2. 4,000 is the same thing as $2,000.
No.
No, you prefer the 4,000. Me too. Anyways, um, so what we need to do is we need to write it as a squared term. So x to the power 4, and that means x squared squared,
Yeah.
because where's x squared by itself? Where's x squared by x squared? X to what power?
X to the power 4.
Right. So we had to write it as a squared term, right?
Okay.
So that in doing that, we can now write it as 4x squared to the power 2. You catch what I did there?
Yeah.
Because I square in the 4 and I square in the x squared. And over here is just 5y squared. So is this any difference at 2 squares form now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I would say 4x squared minus 5y by 4x squared plus 5y. Aliyah, let me know if you got that.
Yeah.
You see, that kind of unsure.
No, you almost sent your picture.
Whoa, that switching voice was crazy. Weird. I feel like that from I can imagine your mom doing that. Like imagine Bryson doing his work and your mom is like, "Hey Bryce, do your work."
Mm-hmm.
That code switch was crazy. Ooh, I'm a heart boy. You'll be a dread principal boy. Hey. Hmm.
I was just asking, I do you doubt, ma. So
Nah, I
like you
believe
don't
you.
trust me now, so
I believe you. You smart. Everybody here
well.
smart. Yeah, right? So now they say, and hence simplify the expression. Guys, anytime I see the word hence, what are you thinking about?
Like
Hmm.
from the previous question.
Yeah, from the previous question. So let's see xy minus y squared anywhere before. Let's see that anywhere before. Xy minus y squared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna write that as y by x minus y. And I'm gonna write x squared minus y squared as. Well, what am I gonna write x squared minus y squared as?
X plus y and x minus y.
I have a question, and depending on the answer, I go end the Zoom meeting and go in and grave. I call Buddhist one time. Could I do this?
No.
No.
Haley, you look like you're gonna say yes,
No. I think
I
I
can't
saw
do
a
that.
TikTok like that the other day.
Yeah. That is suicide material. If you were like a 50th, if you were like a 20th reason why, yeah. Well, for me at least, when I see war crimes that are being committed. Anyways, you can only cancel off terms when there's multiplication involved. So that's why we need to write it as the product of the factors. That kind of confused us just now. By factors, I just mean factorizing. Factors, factorizing, you know? So Healy, and this form is the factorized form of this,
Yeah.
and this is the factorized form of this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you factorize, you find any product of the factors. And once it's a product, it could cancel off. So the x minus y would cancel off with the x minus y, and the y would cancel off with the y.
Believe that.
I'm joking. I can't do that. So you're going to end up with y over x plus y. Yeah, again, you cannot do that. If you do that, you're going to hell. You're going to burn. You're going to burn, right? In a good way. So that's it. That's the final answer. You could only cross off things once it's multiplication. If something is being involved in a difference or a sum, you can't do anything. Let that be a lesson. Don't go,
Yeah.
don't go chase people. I'm not gonna finish the sentence. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now we on to some bigger things. Let's go. So who wanna help me with this question? It's a very easy question, I assure you guys. I promise it not that hard. Who wanna help me with this one? I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I think I might volunteer.
All right, no problem. I was gone. Keely, I will say that you're a volunteer, no?
No, because for marks, I just like, it was the second question and I just sat and stared at it. This is what made me ask you to like reteach this topic.
Okay, well, here what? Keely, if you don't answer this question, then you have no choice. You could do this question one more. Yeah. Right? So we're Gucci. You can do this one more next. Yeah. Right? So Helia, will you pay close attention to how we doing this? Alia, Kiara, Nicholas, Kirsten, maybe Amy. Alia, pay close attention to how we're doing this, right? Because the next question gonna be harder. And it's bringing this every year now. I don't know where's the story with shapes. So, Vade, read the question.
The diagram below shows two rectangles, M and N, with the dimension expressed in terms of x. Given that the difference between the areas of the two rectangles is 64 centimeters squared, show that x squared minus 2x minus 35 equals 0.
All right. So, Vade, first things
Below
first, what kind of shapes we have?
two rectangles.
Right. How do we find the area of a rectangle?
Length add that times 2.
No, you're talking about perimeter.
Perimeter, my bad. Length times breadth.
The area is just length by width. So, if I had this shape here, what would be the area?
The area is 10
Keely,
centimeters squared.
Keely, you catch that? Area of a rectangle.
Yeah.
Alia, Kira, are you with us still?
Yep.
Okay, Kira. And Nicholas, you with us too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I hear any subway noise in the background. Are you in subway or?
Yeah, that's it.
Eh, buy a cookie for me now. I want a double chocolate chip.
She might make me buy cookies for she.
Unless you spend all the money buying cookies for Kira. But anyways, let me continue, right? So in this question, we have two rectangles. To find the area of a rectangle, for instance, is 2 by 5. So Vade, if to find the area of this was 2 by 5, how will I find the area of this?
You multiply them.
Multiplying what things by each other?
X minus 3 by 3x plus 4.
Right. Healy, do you know how to expand that now? Like if I have x minus 3 multiplied by 3x plus 4, are you capable of doing that now?
Yeah.
Right. But here's the trick. They are saying that Vade, what is saying?
The difference between the areas of the two rectangles is 64 centimeters squared.
So when I find the area for M and I find the area for N, what I'm gonna do that to that?
Minus
And that difference would be equal to
the equation.
it would form an equation, but that would be equal to the difference between the two areas would be equal to
4 centimeters squared.
64, right? So when we find the area for M, and we minus it from the area N, we have to put it equal to 64 to form the equation, right? And as we're saying, of it.
Can you repeat that, please?
So they're saying that the difference between the areas is 64.
Yes.
So we need that information to make an equation. And we could find the equation here in terms of x, like the area. We can find the area.
Yeah, you could find the area.
And for this one, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I go and I put out what's over here? A linear equation, a linear expression, a quadratic expression. What I go and I put? I have x by x.
Squared.
Anytime you have a squared term, that's a what? That's a cube,
So quadratic.
right? So you would get a quadratic here, and you would get a quadratic here, because x by x. And those two expressions, you would minus them. And when you minus them, that would be equal to what? According to the question, they said the difference 64 centimeters squared, yes. So, Veda, let me go ahead and find the area for M. But tell me, Veda, how would I find the area of M? Walk me through it.
3x plus 4 is the length. The width is x minus 3 in centimeters.
Oh, I have a
So it will
question.
be
Veda, before we continue, if instead of 3x plus 4 by x minus 3, I write x minus 3 by 3x plus 4, would it matter? Do you know if it would matter?
x minus.
Yeah, instead of
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Keely, do you think it would matter? Like if you find an area of a rectangle and one side is 2, the other side is 5, does it matter how you multiply?
No.
It doesn't matter, so it wouldn't matter. You could really do it anyhow you want. I just need to point that out. Yeah? Tell me what to do next for you. Full steps.
So you have that down. So it will be length by width, which is the 3x plus 4 by x minus 3, which will be equal to 3x squared minus 9 plus 4x minus 12.
So 3x by x, it's already 3x squared. Then it's already minus 9x, and it's already 4x, and it's already minus 12. Excellent job.
So that will be equal to 3x squared minus 5x minus 12.
Excellent job, David. Right? I want to call upon Aliyah. Aliyah, tell me, how would I find the area of n?
You multiply the two brackets.
Yeah, does it matter the order in which I multiply it?
No.
No. No. Order wouldn't matter, right? So tell me, anyhow you want, multiply.
X plus 2 into x minus 3.
It keeps saying into, that's division. Is by, is
Oh,
by.
my bad. By x minus 3.
Right? And if we had to expand that, we know how to expand it because we do that just now.
X by x is x squared. X by minus 3 is minus 3x plus 2x minus 6.
Mm-hmm.
You get minus x minus 6.
You see, I keep changing the negativity to positive because tonight I real positive. I let how many I real good. Big up on yourself. Right. So then, so Vade, we have the area of M and we have the area of N. Let me write the equation. So according to the information, they're saying the difference of the areas is 64. Which one looking bigger? The M or N? Just by looking at it, Vade. Which one looking bigger?
M
Yeah, so we could say area of M
minus N.
minus area of N.
Quarter to
Right? Yeah, I want you to call out the first expression. I want to make sure nobody confused. Healy, you understand why we saying M minus N is equal to 64?
Yeah.
Perfect. Kiara, that's perfectly understand, all right? Like that real easy. You're good. Kiara, how the house in the sky, how the construction coming along? Because I think you're sleeping.
I'm not. I'm right here.
Yeah, you okay with everything so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue. And I have a part in this, right? That I showed probably 60% or they might make the error. So wait, let me continue. So M is
I
just
could hold the rest of it, like the whole thing.
um not quite. I wanna point out an error that students could make. Wait, is
Because
this
I
correct?
know
I want each of you all to drop any chat or unmute to tell me if you think this whole thing correct.
wait.
Is that correct? Healy,
Um
Fade, Kira, Nicholas, Aliyah. Is that correct?
still I don't think
Yeah.
I hear yeah.
I
Vade,
don't
you
think so,
correct?
sir.
I agree with Vade. That's not correct.
No, it isn't, guys. It isn't correct, guys. Maths boss Amy said so.
Yeah, it is not correct. It's not correct. Haley, you think you could tell me why it's not correct? You
Oh.
all you see, like what you see, right? You see negative area of n. So you was like, all right, that was just negative x squared minus x minus 6n. That's what you, that's what you think.
No, because I thought that looks bigger than N.
Oh no,
So
that had nothing to do the problem. Eh? The problem is this part is wrong. Let me explain what we're trying to say here. You find this looking correct? So it's minus the area of n. Nothing wrong, right? M minus n is correct. The error is saying minus area of n is minus x squared minus x minus 6. The correct way to say it is actually minus open bracket x squared minus x minus 6 because this is the whole area of n and we minus it. And then you would have to expand the brackets. Don't worry, Healy, I will explain it back again just now. So you see this thing over here? This actually is supposed to be this. Healy, I want you to look at it, see if you can understand it. If not, tell me.
yeah, I think I do.
Is the same logic as this. And negative 5 is negative 5. I mean, just follow along. Minus 5 is equal to minus 5. And I can write 5 as 4 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's still supposed to be equal to negative 5, and
Yeah.
yeah, because watch. And did I change anything? Is 4 plus 1 is 5?
Mm-hmm.
Did I change anything?
No.
No, it's still supposed to be equal to minus 5. If I expand it and I say minus 4 plus 1, I wouldn't get minus 5. I'll get minus 3. So the negative sign on the outside it needs to be applied to all the terms on the inside. So -4, -1. That's what I'm saying here. Clearly, I'm saying that the negative on the outside needs to be applied to all the terms over here. Because this whole thing is n, and it's minus n. So this whole thing would change to -x² plus x plus 6.
I understand.
You're sure?
Mm-hmm.
That's a mistake so much people just make, and it's sad. Don't want you to be part of that demographic. Don't do that. So watch. Anytime you have something expresses more than one term, you need to put it in brackets. So here, you agree that this whole thing is n, right? That whole thing is n.
Yeah.
Right. So it's minus that whole thing. I cannot stress this enough. Back in the day, I used to make this mistake like a noob. Don't want it to be a noob. Right? Healy, you're not a noob. Yeah. So next line. So Healy, let's move on. Veda, see you dropped the correct answer on the chat. Good job. So we have 3x² minus 5x minus 12. And again, guys, it's minus the area of n. So it's minus the entire term. And this term consists of 3 terms, x² minus x and minus 6. So I need to expand. Any of you others watch JJK?
No.
No. Or you don't know about domain expansion and thing?
Of course. We know. I mean, I show Amy know. I feel like Amy would know and Nicholas.
Of course, of course.
Look at the movie. It's nice.
Yeah, and like all the girls have like a crush on Gojo. That's like because all the guys in class could agree. A lot of girls don't really watch anime unless it's for the male protagonist.
That's not true.
That is sexist.
Exactly, that ain't true.
Okay. I going into controversial waters there. Sorry. Sorry there. I should not say that. Yeah. Nicholas, you have anything to add to that?
I just watch it for the male protagonist.
Well, say no more. Say no more. I mean, who's a male protagonist that just goated? I'll ever watch Black Clover.
Yeah,
Yami. Yami is the goat.
thank you.
Yeah, he real bad. So well, now that I'm thinking about it, guys just watch Dragon Ball Z for Goku, and that is a male protagonist. Huh. That's insane. So then like, well, okay, I take back my statement. Guys just do it as much as girls. Yeah. If not more. Like Nicholas. Right? So Healy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
based on what I have here, you're 100% okay to move on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we need to simplify. There are a lot of terms. The more terms it have, the higher the probability of crashing out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna work it one at a time. First of all, are you seeing any x² terms?
Yeah.
What x² terms are you seeing?
3x² and x² negative
Minus x². So what is 3x² minus x²?
2x².
Right? So we work out the x² terms. Now we're gonna move on to the x's. How much x terms are you seeing?
2
Minus 5x and
positive x.
so is minus 5x plus x.
Minus 4x.
Perfect. Right? And then we have how much constants we have?
2,
Technically, we had the 64 as well.
3, but
What do you think we gonna have to do with our 64? Look at how they want it to be. Are you seeing anything on the right hand side? Wait up on the right hand side. This is the left hand side, this is the right
0.
hand side, 0. So you think we're gonna keep the 64 on the right hand side? Here, think about it logically. If we want to get 0 on this side, do you think we will leave 64?
No.
No, we go take the 64 and move it across,
Ah,
right? But before we do anything, what is negative 12 plus 6?
-6.
Right, and we're going to move across 64 because in our final answer, we want to get 0 on the right-hand side. Okay, we're nearly there, right? Aliyah, I'm going to test your odd maths abilities here to the max. What is -6 minus 64? Whoa. What is -6 minus 64? Okay. Healy, what is -6 minus 64?
-70.
Aliyah, you all right? You okay? That's the correct answer, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the correct answer. It take a little while, right? But yes, -70. Now, Aliyah, does this look like the form they wanted in? Tell me, Aliyah, does it like look exactly like the form they wanted in? Yeah or no?
No.
No. Lemma x squared, what we have?
No. 2x. And you could simplify.
We could simplify by doing what throughout. Let me observe something earlier. Lemma of x squared, what we have?
2x squared
Okay, them have -2x, what we have?
-4x
Them have -35, what we have?
-70. So we could divide by 2.
Yes, that's exactly it. Healy, you see what we just want to do, right? What we have
Mm-hmm.
is 2 times what they have. So we could just divide throughout by 2. So, Healy, what is 2x squared divided by 2? Don't overthink it. What's 2 divided by 2?
2 divided by 2 is 1.
Right, so 2x squared divided by 2 is 1x squared. Same concept here, with -4x divided by 2.
-2x.
Yes, what is -70 divided by -2?
-35.
Yes, man. That's it. Is that the form they want? If you want, we could erase the 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the form. So we Gucci, right? We good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for the help, Vade. You gave me the correct answer on the chat. And it was good with your explanation. So thanks. Right? So everybody understand this question? For you
Yeah.
don't, tell me. Oh, yeah, tell me no. Kirsana, I know you good. Vade, I know you obviously good because you told me you have to do it. Kiara, you good. Amy, you good for sure. Healy, I do it with you, so I know you good. Nicholas, yeah, you smart. Aliyah, you good. Like I show you good. Like this is easy. But Aliyah, I know where you used to. I feel like you would make a little mistake somewhere. I feel like you'd make a little mistake.
No, I get you.
Aliyah, this is the place where people just make the mistake. I don't be like that.
Yeah, no.
You're telling me, yeah, no, but just remember, all right?
I
If
could try.
this whole thing is n, so if that whole thing is n, then they had to go in brackets because that represents one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would expand it out. Okay, we didn't crash out yet. It's a good sign, right? Take a 5 minutes break. When we come back, we're gonna do the seedbed question. Yeah. So take a 5 minutes break, come back at 10:22. We will finish a little later than usual. I start class a little late too. But yeah, it will work out. All right. And this question kind of hard. So who wants to volunteer? Healy, I know for sure you're gonna help, man. Because I know this is your weak spot. It becoming your strong spot. Um, who else wanna help me with this? Aliyah, you help me with this?
Really?
Yeah,
Uh, mm,
yeah. Aliyah, did you get this question? Didn't you?
yeah.
And you should be able to do it really well.
No, wait. I didn't get this question for nothing. Or did I?
Who knows?
Hmm.
Kelly, don't find this looking like a cat. Like Loki. It looked like a cat, and
Yeah.
if I had some whiskers,
Why I draw glasses on it?
that's supposed to be me. I real blind. I need glasses. That's supposed to be me. Like watching it die.
Rajeev, I got a cat today actually.
You got cats
Yeah, from school.
from school? What?
Yeah, they had like a host of them and like in this season and they need to find like people to take them home and I beg mommy and it have a cat now.
Yeah, Kiara. This is exactly what happened. Oh, you know the song?
You're not serious.
In the middle of the night, ma'am, you see the cat and you're taking that. And you bring it home. You bring it home. What kind of cat it is?
I don't know. A cat? I think this is some American shortcake. I don't know something. I don't know.
Send a picture. Send a picture.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. We're just chilling here. All right. What's the next topic all you want to do? Where's our next topic that was kill all here? Like real bad. Like all this crash out. Like, tell me. And don't forget, we also have 2 sessions before the exam, right? So it's really 5 sessions. Yeah. Right. So Aliyah, Kiara, Healy, we have like 8 people in class. I surely could figure out something that's give all the trouble. What else is give all the trouble? Other than algebra and quadratics.
Geometry.
Geometry. Like transformation questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Like, you know what it is given? Section 2?
Or like to construct.
Yeah.
That'll be hard for me to surely over here. I could try. I have virtual tools. I'll show you what I mean. I have a virtual protractor. I know I had a virtual where was it? Yeah. I mean I have a virtual compass. I could try something. Yeah, could try something. Oh, Kira, that's a big cat. Like I wasn't expecting the cat to be that big. Like
To be honest, it's not big. I think it's like just the angle of the picture. It's tiny. She's tiny. It's looking big, but she's not. She's tiny.
so like the cat in your room just chilling.
Yeah, in the little crate carrier thingy. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. You don't like it?
So
You have it?
we still in break, right?
Say that again?
We still in break for like a minute or so, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could ask you a random question.
Yeah, shoot.
You play any games?
Let's play any games?
Yeah.
The game of life. I joking but that's actual game. I don't fully know about the game of life. I just play I don't play like Rocket League or Free Fire or any of them games. I just play like niche games. I just play more RPG. Like Crash Lands and thing.
Yeah.
The Minecraft every now
Well,
and then.
I got a new laptop, right? So it has, I guess, well, decent specs, kind of mid-range GPU of a 4060. and the
That is
i9
not a
13.
mid-range GPU. That's not a mid. That's like upper mid-range. That's like upper mid
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
have a i9 13950HX in it. So a 13 gen.
That's okay. Not bad.
So,
That's
what
not
do
bad.
you like to run on that?
You know what you should do? You should run shaders on Minecraft. I see a man get like 25 FPS with the 5090. I think he did like 256 bit graphics with his
That's
shaders.
really the rendering issue with Java itself because of the coding from when the game was originally owned by Notch. So that's why it has something to bypass that and have like a new rendering tool called Sodium, Iris, etc.
I know what you're talking about.
Which
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
I following. I
yeah,
have Minecraft on my laptop, you know. After I'll pull it up and I'll show you. I have like real shaders on. Like,
I use one called Astral Lex. It's pretty nice. You should check it out.
all right. Well, after class, I'll show you the shit I have. Right? So, yeah, well, let me get back into it. Haley,
Yes,
you want to start off first? Or Aliyah, you want to start off first?
Me.
Whoa, you're very excited.
Wait, wait. Just now.
That song's stuck in my head now. In the middle of the night. Yeah, man. Hey, hey, boy.
Okay, no.
Okay, I see what you do.
Um, Aliyah can start if she wants.
Okay, say no more.
Wait, I take it back.
I could just read the question.
Why did you redeem it? Surprised somebody get a joke. Anyways, I should have said any accent. No, I'm not gonna do that to myself. That'll be kind of racist against Indians.
Take the accent and I'll give you a subway.
Nah. I could go in UE and buy that tomorrow. Nicholas, why don't you do it? You seem like you have a good Indian voice.
No, I know really Indian either. I italics.
You what?
As a italics.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say that. So you gotta say it.
Nah. Anyways, Haley, read the question.
Laura needs to put mesh around 2 seedbeds to protect her seedlings. Altogether, she uses 60 meters of mesh. One of the seedbeds is a rectangle and the other one is a square, as shown in the diagram below. The width of the rectangle seedbed is x meters. The length of the rectangular seedbed is 3 times its width. The length of a side of the square seedbed is y meters. Using the information given above, derive a simplified expression for y in terms of x.
Whoa. Whoa. Sounds like a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
but Haley,
Yeah,
you're not about to crash on. You got this, and you've got this.
yeah. I know I get 1 out of them correct.
So what we had to do is we had to look out for information we could use to form our equation. Did they give any information here we could use to make our equation?
Yeah.
Read the question again. You can probably start from all together.
Altogether, she uses 60 meters of mesh.
Oh. So what I mean, when they say all together, she uses 60 meters of mesh. What I mean,
They mean that around both seat beds, altogether, she used 60 meters.
what does all together mean?
Like everything, like all.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is like what arithmetic sign is that? Is that like multiply, subtract, add? What's that?
Add?
Yeah. If I say how much money you and Kira have to all together, Or they go add, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Haley, let me hold on to that information. So altogether means, anytime you see altogether, that means
Add.
in the last question it was difference, and difference was
It was subtraction.
yes. Okay, so let's move on. And then they're saying what about the width?
The width is the length of the rectangular seabed is 3 times its width.
So what do I mean? What do I mean?
That the length is 3x, like 3 of
Yes.
x.
Yep. Because if I mean 3 times x is like just 3x. Come on. Right? And what would this length be? What would this, what
That
would it
one would be x,
be? Right? And this would be
3x.
right. So that would be 3x. And what kind of shape is this?
That's a square.
So what would the side be?
Y. All would be y.
Why? Why is that? Why is that?
Because all sides of a square are equal.
Yeah, that's true. I tried to make a little joke there, but it wasn't funny. Let's move on. So why it wasn't funny? I don't know. I need to
Why?
I need to stop. Shut up. Okay, so we have plenty information. We know she's putting mesh around. Anytime you see around, what does around mean?
Perimeter.
Yes, perimeter. Anytime when I see around, and here I think you mentioned that as well. You told me perimeter. You just didn't say the word perimeter, but you said when I ask you all together, you tell me that was like the mesh around, right? And you say that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here what? Here I feel like I could sense the intimidation. I could sense a little intimidated by the question. We figure out a good bit of information. We have all the dimensions for the shapes. We have a piece of information that could form an equation. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. If we form an equation, can we rearrange the equation?
Yeah.
Yes. And if I have x plus y is equal to 2, and I could say x is equal to 2 minus y.
Yeah.
And I could similarly, and I could also say y is equal to 2 minus x.
Yeah.
I just don't answer the question there, no. Well, that's not the answer, but it's the gist of it. Because read the question again.
Using the information given above, derive a simplified expression for y in terms of x.
So when they say y in terms of x, they're really asking you, y is equal to what? X. That's what they're asking. You catch what I'm saying? Yeah or no?
Mm.
Okay. So y in terms of x. Let me give you an example. So let me just say we know that let me just say oranges is $5. And strawberries, rich people think a strawberry is $10. And I could say strawberry is equal to 2 oranges. I could say that.
Yeah.
So, and by doing that, and I expressing the strawberry in terms of the orange,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I expression y in terms of x. Y is the same thing as 2 minus x. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Just show you understand that.
Yeah.
So they just want you to make y the subject of the formula. That's what they want. Right?
Okay.
They want me to find for y in terms of x. So in other words, what is y equal to in terms of x? So here, if I had x and I wanted to find what y is, all I had to do, okay, so if I know, let me explain, right? Here, if I know x is equal to 5, and to find for y, I would have just said 2 minus 5.
Yeah.
Right, so I could find for y because it is in terms of x. I trust I fully understand it now.
Yeah.
So do you have enough information to make an equation?
Mm-hmm.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what equation would we make? Trying to come up with something. Come up with
Hmm.
something.
What else we could do? Uh, 8x plus 4y is equal to 60. That'll work.
Come on again.
8x plus 4y is
Okay,
equal to 60.
that's correct, but I want to hear reasoning for that. Where you get 8x from?
When you add like the x's from like the first rectangle, well, the rectangle, the only rectangle.
All right, so if we start at this point, that is a distance at 3x, and
Yeah.
that's x, so that we have 4x, then we have 7x, and it's 8x. So yes. If we start over here, this is y, this is 2y, 3y, 4y. Awesome. So you're correct. So you're saying 8x plus 4y is equal to what?
60.
What do you want me to do?
The one we, well, make an
So,
expression for y in terms of x.
not just a not just an expression, what kind of expression?
A simplified expression.
Before we move on, could we simplify this?
Yeah.
I want you to look at the numbers. We have 8, we have 4, we have 60. Those numbers have anything in common?
4.
4. So if they have 4 in common, what we could do on both sides, like on all sides.
We could divide by 4.
Yes. Tell me what we would end up with.
2x plus y equals 15.
Nicholas, this is looking good.
Yeah.
All right. And so, Kelly, what is the next step? What will you do next?
Make y the subject of the formula.
Right, because I said 4y in terms of x. How would I make y the subject?
Um, the auntie could just move the x, like the 2x.
Yes. So y would be equal to?
Y would be equal to 15 minus 2x.
Right. Aliyah, I have a question for you. What if they said x in terms of y? What we gonna do there? Let me see what we gonna do, Aliyah. Aliyah, tell me fast. Time is
Um,
of the essence.
X would be the subject of the formula.
Right. So how will we make x the subject of the formula here?
It would be, you would carry across the y, so it would be 2x is equal to y
No.
minus, no,
If you move
15,
across the y,
15 minus y,
yes.
sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but they want x. So you could carry across,
So
you could
Aliyah,
move the,
tell me that again. Reasonable volume, tell me.
they want x,
Mm-hmm.
so you carry across the 2.
What do you mean by carry across the two? So minus
Instead
2?
of, no, it'll be 15 minus y over 2,
Yes.
because on the left side you're multiplying 2 by x to give you 2x. So yeah.
Good job, Aliyah. Keely, you understand what she just now do?
Yeah.
Good. So we have answered the 2 mark question. Let's move on. So with these questions, the general procedure, I'm gonna give all you a general procedure to look for. They could either say altogether, difference, sum, product, whatever. You're looking for arithmetic, right? And you're gonna use the arithmetic to create an equation. And once you have the equation, you might have to solve it or make something the subject. It's a general procedure. So, Keely, just to recap, we saw they say altogether, we saw that they was talking about perimeter, and they gave us a total. And that was enough information to come up with an equation.
Yeah.
Right, so that is the same thing for all questions. Didn't they do that in this question? They said the difference is 64.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They don't ever really change it up. So you look out for arithmetic. You look out for the arithmetic they give you. It could be plus, minus, whatever. Then you look out to see if they give you any values. Values for perimeter or area. You use that to make an equation. By the way, I said any notes after class, right? So you don't have to worry about copying them too much. Then you're either gonna solve the equation or make something the subject. Yeah, that's it. Let's move on. So let me see how the marks distributed. Okay, Healy, your duty didn't finish as yet. Let me continue. So yeah, Healy, you'll do part
Mm-hmm.
B1, and Aliyah, you'll do part 2 and part 3. Really simple stuff. So Healy, read part B for me.
The area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square seed bed. Using this information and your answer in A to write down a quadratic equation in terms of x and show that it simplifies to x squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0.
Right, I'm not gonna say anything. I want you to figure this out. So, so let me try to understand one more time what's going on. So read it back one more time, slowly. I need to process what's going on.
The area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square seed bed. Use this information and your answer in A to write down a quadratic equation in terms of x and show that it simplifies to x squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0.
You have any idea also what to do for this?
Um, you could scroll back up.
Sure. Waiter, what I would do is, yeah, there you go. Or if any of you all know how to solve this, do it on paper fast and send it to me. Haley, tell me what's going on.
I was thinking that we could use A to find the area of the seed bed, but we don't know I.
Yeah, say that again.
I was thinking that we could use the answer for A to find the area of the seed bed, but we don't know F.
So the problem that that you have is that we don't know what the area of the rectangular seabed is.
Well, yeah, well, for one of them, for any of them, because they're equal.
All right, but here what? I want you to take your mind away from numbers and start to deal with letters. You do have something. It's not like you don't have something. So read the question one more time and try to understand what it's saying. So read B. So they're saying that the what?
The area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square seed bed.
Hold up. Could we write an equation for that?
Yeah,
Okay, we could do that. So we're gonna say area of rectangle is equal to area of square. Okay. What do you think I had to do next? It's very similar to the last question.
3x multiplied by x could be equal to y multiplied by y.
Yes, exactly. Good job. What's 3x by x?
3x squared
Right, squared. And what is y by y?
y squared.
Okay, Healy, you could do this. You could do this. Look at what they want us to prove. Look at what we have. Look at the previous things we've done. If I ask you, if I ask you this, right? You see any y terms in that equation they want me to prove?
No,
So you think we should keep the y?
no.
So like the same situation with the oranges and the strawberries. If I say our orange is $5 and our strawberry oranges, let me just say our orange is 7 and our strawberry is 14. If I have an equation saying O plus S is equal to 21, is there any other way I could write that equation?
Mm,
I could.
yeah,
I could write O plus 2O is equal to 21. Why did I do that? See if you could figure out why. See if you can figure out why.
because one strawberry is 14
Mm-hmm.
and one orange is 7 and 2 oranges would be equal to one strawberry.
So I just replace S with 2O.
Yeah,
If I tell you how to do the same thing over here. So our final answer just has X's in it, right?
you can repeat?
So the answer that we want just has X in it, right?
Yeah.
But we have Y here.
Hmm.
Aliyah, if you know what to do, send me a message on WhatsApp. Kara, you too. Kara, if you know what to do, send me a message. Nicholas, everybody, drop a message. Send me a message if you know what to do, right? But Healy, take close attention to what you have. is the same scenario as what I showed you just now. I can replace the strawberry with 2 oranges. Is there anything I can replace y with?
With 3x squared?
No. I do that. I see why I would say that because 3x squared is equal to y squared. But no. I want you to dig deeper. Look at everything we've done so far. Is there anything we could replace y with?
With 15 minus 2x.
Yes. That is why we express y in terms of x. So where's another way I could write y? What is y
Fif-
equal to?
15 minus 2x.
Yep. And this is another mistake students could make. Some people could do this. Is that correct?
Mm, no.
No. Let me ask that question, right? Right, Healy. Is y one answer or is it expressed using 2 terms?
Express using two terms.
So if y is 15 minus 2x, and I have to put that in brackets, right? Because
Yeah.
that whole thing represents y. Things are about to get serious. So I have 3x squared. All right, so you're going to utilize everything we've learned thus far. What do you think 15 minus 2x squared means? Again, if I have 5 squared, what does 5 squared mean?
25.
Right? That is 25. But like, what 5 squared is what by what?
Oh, 5 by 5.
So what do you think 15 minus 2x squared is?
15 minus 2x squared by 15 minus 2x squared.
No, 15 minus 2x by 15 minus 2x.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said that's squared, but the squared means you're multiplying this by itself. You can see it, right? So like
Yeah.
squared, 5 by 5. All right. And did we learn anything as to how to expand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's expand.
It expanded.
So like everything we learned today being utilized. That's good. So we have 3x squared and expand that from up.
225.
Right?
Then
Aliyah, what is 15
minus 30.
minus 2?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Aliyah, what about over here? Where's minus 2x by 15?
Minus
Minus?
2x by 15
Yeah, minus 2x by 15.
minus 30 x
Yes, sir. And where's minus 2x or minus 2x?
plus 4x squared.
Yeah. Hilly, things are gonna shape up, but looking real complicated, and wouldn't lie.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But like it looking complicated, but we getting somewhere and everything making sense, right? And
Yeah.
we want to get x squared. So here what? I want to let it try and because I need to let it do this by itself. I wouldn't beat any exam. Try to make this, try to do some modifications or shift around something. Try to make this look like this. I give you only 3 minutes. Try to do that. Vid, do some work and answer now. The rest of you guys do some work and answer now. Everybody. So I want you all to show me how you will go from that point to this point. Right? This question will be the last question for the night. And I need to know what topic all they want to do next. I will send some quadratic questions so I could practice it. But I need to know what topic all they want me to do next. Right. Haley, you come up with anything?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. So this is what I was talking about. You have to be able to manipulate the equation. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. You reach this point and you don't know what to do next. Yeah. So Haley, what I could tell you is you could move anything like so long as it's on the same side, you could move anything you want anywhere. You can move anything.
Okay.
It's only when you move something across the equal sign does the sign change. But like you could literally shift around anything you want to make it look like x squared minus 60x plus 225 is equal to 0. I need a little to figure this out. Must. This is a must. Yes, Amy, that's correct. Kira, I'd like you to rearrange what we have here to get x squared minus 60x plus 225. Aliyah, you as well. Gang, are we crashing out? Are we crashing out? Did we hit our wall here?
I rearrange it, right? So I put 4x first and then, well, minus 30 minus 30x and
Well, let me ask
plus,
you a question, Haley. Could you have simplified that? One
uh, uh,
once it's
uh,
the same kind of term, I like term, you could simplify it. Are both of those x terms?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So let me just say you take away 30, 30 x's and you take away 30 x's again. How much x's you take away?
60.
That's crazy. That's insane. Whoa. Um, but yeah, you see my point, right? Before you do anything, see if you could simplify it. I sure by just okay. I sure by just instead of writing two x's, if you have minus 60x, it looks a lot less complicated. It does. So look to see if you could simplify it. So tell me what you have now.
Wait, do we just simplify one or we simplifying the whole thing?
We had to simplify the whole thing, right? Um, so tell me what you to do.
So when you said that we could rearrange anything,
Hmm.
I put 4 in front and
Correct,
well, I solve like the x's, like I combine them.
right?
And then I put the 225 in
Right.
the end.
That's perfect. Now you're nearly there. I would like you to look at where you want to get. Look at where you want to get, and try to see how you could get that. I don't want to tell you what to do. Look at what you're trying to get.
But if I simplify 4, won't I have to do it to everything else?
Is there anything? Okay, so you're asking me if you simplify 4. What do you mean by that? We want to do it 4.
Like how 4 is X term.
That's not x term. That's a what term?
X squared term.
Right. Here's my question. Nah, I don't want to say it. Can I prelude you to it? You had minus 30x and minus 30x. Both of those were x terms, so you simplify. 4x squared. Think. The final answer have x squared in it. And is also equal to what? What is the final answer equal to, Haley?
0.
Could do it. Could do it. Yeah, it's a very good stage. You just have to do one more thing and you get the answer. You just have to do one more thing and you get the answer. What could you do to end up with x squared? What x squared terms do you have?
Then minus 4.
Say that again.
Minus 4 from this.
Minus 4 from what?
From 4x squared.
I feel you're forgetting the 3. I feel like you're forgetting that I have a 3 on the left-hand side.
Oh. My God. I did forget that 3.
It's like we recreate Home Alone. Yeah. So now that you know you have a 3 on the left-hand side, see what you could do. Here you could do this. Trust me, when you work your brain and you figure this out, like some neurons gonna like the order gonna switch on, like your brain just gonna be able to see it. I can't tell you. You need to do it. Do it. So Alia, are you crashing out? I see your status. Are you though?
Just a little.
We nearly finished. Nearly finished. Nicholas, what about you? You crashing out or like this is all normal for you? Feel like you're fella that's go to sleep 3 o'clock and thing.
Sanera answer since quarter to 11.
Yeah, well, Nicholas, I know you fine.
Well, this is food.
So I had to get a hard question for you, okay? Give me that
No,
question.
no, 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 no.
I was sending the same question I sent Amy. It's a hard maths rated question. Since you're so comfortable in class, try that. Let me hear a reaction.
Right. Uh,
What would you do for that? Keely, that is it. That is it. That's what we're talking about. I feel like for the longest while you just forget each 3x squared like this.
Yeah. Like, I didn't write it that time.
But yes, that's it. Good job. So all you had to do, guys, here what I was saying, right? Once you do cross the equal sign, you could change the order however you want. Just don't change the sign. So look at what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write back 3x squared. I'm gonna take the 4x squared, write it in front. I have minus 30x minus 30x, that's minus 60x. And I'm gonna say plus 225. And my final answer, notice that one side has nothing on it, and well, the other side has an x squared term. Keep in mind, I have 4x squared and I have 3x squared. If I move across the 3x squared, 4x squared minus 3x squared is 1x squared. And I would get the 0 I want. So this is what we're supposed to do, right? Kelly, after today, I'll show you a lot more confidence. Sure,
Yeah, for sure.
right? But I need to do some questions for you and send it to you, and you need to do it. Like, you need to do it.
Yeah, I will.
You can't like lose the progress we make today, right? So, Aliyah, your turn now. So now they want me to solve the equation using the quadratic formula. This is like food. It's really easy. Remember, where's the quadratic formula? It literally in the formula sheet. X is equal to
Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2.
2a,
2a, yeah, my bad.
right? So tell me, what is a, b, and c?
A is 1,
Right?
b is minus 60, and c is 225.
Okay. So x would be equal to negative b. So is that correct? Ali, I think that's a mistake you go make, you know. I'm not hating on you.
No, I learned from my mistakes before.
So it's minus b. So it's minus
Yeah,
minus 60.
yeah,
And then that'll be minus 60 squared minus 4 by 1 by,
225.
right? And that'll be 2 by,
1
yeah. So negative by negative is a,
positive, so it'll be positive 60.
right? And on the inside, let me see if I can work this out mentally, right?
Okay,
That'll be 3600 minus 900. So it'll be 2700. Sure, it's at 2700. Am I right?
square root of 2700.
Yeah, that's what I say. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Mm. As the maths boss, yes. Anyway, how I do that? Well, I just say 4 by, okay, how I just do it, I'll say 4 by 200, that's 800. Then I'll say 4 by 25, that's another 100, so 900. And then 60 squared is just 6 by 6 is 36, add on the extra zeros. 3600 minus the 900. I get my answer, 2700. It's simple, right?
I had to learn that way.
Yeah. Have like a Casio for brain, right? So you're gonna have two solutions. You're gonna have the positive case and the negative case. So the positive case is gonna be 60 plus the square root of 2700 over 2.
51.9. So,
Bigger?
um, I get 50 root 3, but like it could be 51.9. You could round it off or use
Round
the
it off
decimal to 52.
yeah, round it off to two decimal places to be safe.
51.96.
Okay. And
No,
remember,
wait, we do.
that's the
Oh,
answer.
hold on.
I'll,
No,
I'll,
hold on.
I'll wait until my final answer.
Oh, okay.
I'll have a Casio, you know, come on. Come on.
I get 55.98.
Okay. That's the final answer.
Yeah,
55 point.
98.
So that's roughly 56.
Yeah.
So that'll be like, and it was meters. Meters. Right? And the other one what's the other one?
4.02 meters.
4.02.
Meters.
That's basically 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I find that 56 real high. Like it's on weed.
Yeah.
You hear that? I'm trying to be a little more funny. Trying to be like a comedian.
Wait, what do you say? I didn't hear properly.
I say the 56 like it's on weed. It's real high.
Oh, not funny.
Not funny. Maybe there's a joke you gotta be high to understand. But don't do that, kids. Don't do that. Don't do that. I've never done it myself. I don't recommend that you all do it. Don't. I'm not talking from experience. I just saying to do it.
For sure.
Yeah. A 56 kind of high, but oh no, it makes sense. It makes sense. 56 had to be high there. No, this is the tricky part. I need to explain something. Only one of these answers are valid, you know. Only one. So Healy, at the start of class, we do the quadratic formula, so I trust that you're okay. I trust that you're okay.
Yeah.
It's just a procedure. Now they want me to calculate total area. So now that we have for x and we could find for y,
Yeah.
so y was 15 minus 2x. Y was equal to 15 minus 2x. So Healy, I'm gonna ask you a question. Could we have negative meters?
No, we cannot.
No, we cannot. So let me try something here. So let me try x is 56 meters. All right. Let me try that. What will happen here?
Again, negative.
Yeah, get a negative answer. So is x is equal to 56 meters a valid distance?
No.
No, because it's given us a negative answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not QR. This is not there. That's the answer. The answer is fully dots. Um, you're not fully smart, right? So Hilly, that didn't work. Where's the other value for x we have?
55.98.
Yeah. No, we just now do that. We just now put our e in 56 and it didn't work. That was we get the fully done answer from that. So where's the other value for x we have? 4. Remember,
Okay.
when we solve it, we get 56 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see if that makes sense. Where's 15 minus 2 by 4? 7. My lucky number. I guess 7, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is wrong. It's correct. So what I'm trying to say is that anytime they get a negative value for distance, you don't use that answer. So we're not going to use the 56 meters. We are going to use the 4 meters alone. So when we want to find for the total area, look at what's going to happen. So Haley, you there, right?
Yeah.
And Aliyah, you there? So Aliyah, since we know what x and y is, Aliyah, can I figure out what do you want me to find? The area, okay. You want me to find the calculate total area of the two seabeds, okay. So Aliyah, could I find the area of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So to do that, I would say 3x by x, right?
Yeah.
All right. Right, 3x by x, that's 4x squared. So what do we find x to be again? And x was like 4.02.
Yeah. But we round it off to 4.
When you're doing calculations, use the unestimated value
Okay.
to get a more accurate value, then round off. So that will be 4x squared. So that will be 4 by 4.02 squared. And it should get something like 64.
64.64.
Tell you, I don't need a Casio. I'm a goat, man. I'm a goat.
Okay. Okay.
Feeling nice, yes. Anyways, so the first shape, I'm just gonna draw back these shapes, right? So your rectangle was 3x by x. The other shape was. Hey, Ollie, go on, watch your Minecraft movie.
Maybe.
I watch it.
It was good,
It was, yeah, good. It was like, I don't explain. Like, I like it because, like, why not? It's a Minecraft movie.
right? Well, that's good. Glad I like it, right? Yeah, so this question was kind of troublesome because some people would have used the 56. I think they should have give you more marks for this because you need to recognize that the 56 is a wrong answer. This is BS. This is, you know what they call this? This is, that's what you call that. Like, come on, bro. Are you serious? So, to find my answer, well, this one will be 3x squared, and this one will be y squared. So we're gonna say 3 by 4.02 squared plus 7. You know what? We could just actually no. I don't want to use the rounded off values. When you use rounded off values, you introduce error. So that would really be. This would have really been. Right. So I want somebody to plug that into the calculator and tell me the final area. Here you can sense our crashing out.
Yeah, I hear it in your voice.
I still had to go after this. I had to revise for a wiring test tomorrow. Um,
Good luck.
and then I still
Um,
had to do a 60-page project, but that thing real stupid, yes. I'll get
I
you.
get,
Yeah. Tell me what you
sorry.
think. Tell me what you think.
I get 96.92.
And that'll be meter squared, right?
Yeah.
Because we find area.
Mhm.
Now, Aliyah, I wanted to try the calculation, but instead of using 4 and 6.96, use rounded off values. You get like a very different answer. So instead of saying, so like say, put 3 by 4 squared plus 7 squared. You see you will get a big, it's supposed to be a big difference. Okay, no, it's actually not that much of a difference. So that's crazy. Okay, 97, 96.9.
Wait,
Okay, not bad.
and earlier they say that the area of the rectangle is equal to the area of the square. And you could just like,
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Way, boy. I really question out, yes. Excellent observation on the Haley. You just had to find the area for one and multiply it by 2. You want to try it and see if it will work out?
yeah.
It will work out. That's very brilliant there, see that? Right. Or you can be smart.
I think that's why it's 2 marks.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. I really overthinking stuff, yes? So all you had to do was say 3x squared by 2. That's all you had to do. Try it. So I want you to say 3 by 4.02 squared by 2. You get the same answer. Damn, I feel real stupid way. Haley, easy good. Easy good. Big up yourself.
Yeah, I get the same answer.
You get the same answer. Yeah. Feeling stupid here, way. You see, this is why you don't be cocky. Because a good humbling is right around the corner for you. Can't be too can't be too confident. Right? So or you can be smart and you can say 3x squared by 2, which is, you know what? I'll blame it on the crash out. I'll blame it on the crash out.
Mhm. No, the question put us for me.
Big up yourself, Healy. That was like a 1,000 IQ move there. That was real smart.
Was it though?
Maybe I just stupid. Could be, you know. Let's do some stupid things. Like my girlfriend, I gonna know I gonna know what I'm going to say go put me in trouble, but I still say it. So I think it's just a stupid. But yeah, so I gonna remove this because I was on me. All I have to do for this question is literally just find the area of the rectangular bed and multiply by 2 because the areas are the same. That's all I had to do. So yeah. Aliyah, you understand now? Like, because like somewhere they said that, like over here they said that both of the areas are equal. So if you find the area of the rectangular seed bed is equal to the area of the square.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? I would just erase this and just play it simple. Um, in the previous question, they said like hear the violin tapping.
No. Violin?
The violent tapping, like I'm tapping the iPad.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. You still need to show this though. You still need to show why you can't use the 56,
Yeah.
right? But you don't need to put this part because we don't even have to use y. We don't even have to use y, guys. All we had to do, so since they said the area of the two seabeds are equal, find for one and multiply by two. All I get what I'm saying there, find for one and multiply by two
Yeah.
because it's the same. So all we had to do, we could just say, so total area is equal to 3x squared by 2, which is equal to 6 by 4.02 squared. And that will be 96.96 meters squared. Um, so we wrap up with algebra and quadratics. All right. So now I just need all to tell me what topics are given on the trouble. Just tell me a topic fast. So I know what to prepare for the next class. Do you have any topics in mind? Other than geometry, because that kind of hard to show. Yeah, do you have any topics?
Circle theorems.
Circle theorem, okay. I could look into doing that next class. Right? Circle theorem, but I find circle theorem easy. It's just that it's just hard to be seen. Like it's hard to see it. Other than that, easy. Healy,
Yeah.
Healy, you give me a topic. Aliyah, give me a topic. So I can prepare for something. Circle theorem is a short topic. I can finish in like an hour and a half, and we could dedicate another hour and a half to something else. Aliyah, you good in functions?
Yeah.
So you know how to
I'll
find the
give that.
inverse function and thing?
Yeah.
So give me a topic to do.
Um,
You sir.
Yeah, tell me, babe. Give my topic.
Yeah, well, I could do the function and stuff, but I feel like I need to go like a step further into it, if you know what I mean.
So he's talking about like composite functions, finding the inverse of a composite function, and thing.
Yeah. I could do the basics of it, but sometimes it just get to me, and I just feel like overwhelmed before I work it out. You know.
Okay, no problem. Well, I'm gonna just put that in chat. So next class, we're going to do circle theorem and functions. Well, like the hard part of functions. Right? Well, how they find the session was, it's like a long session. How they find it was okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Okay, good.
very
Very
nice, sir.
good, right?
Very nice.
All right. Kira, are you still with us? If you're awake,
Hi.
okay, I feel like that's our achievement. That you still haven't. That's crazy. And Nicholas, you good, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Nicholas, you have any topics? Anything to request, like other than circle theorem?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. How are you all with it's a hard topic, boy. Maths just easy in general. It's a hard topic in maths. Hmm. I really don't know. Are they okay with statistics? Well,
Yeah.
also do like also I do like histograms and bar graphs and all that. Because like everybody is overlooked that. Nobody's do that.
That's pretty simple, sir.
I mean, it is. So, all right, next class, circle theorem and functions. Thank you for coming to class today, right? Physics people, I'll see you later tomorrow. Maths people, I'll see you later Saturday. Amy, I'll see you Sunday. Later, everybody. Have a blessed night.
Bye.
Bye.